knights on their steeds, orc war bands ready for their wicked deeds. I'll show you all the tricks, the blends and the glaze, little pain and secrets from my hobby days. No pressure here, just hang and chat, share stories of battles and pain mishaps. We laugh, we learn, mix colors on the fly, watching warbands grow beneath the brush as time goes by. Every stroke and every color tells a tale, from victory's glory to the warrior's trail, with the thread of chaos on the rise. The heroes tell no lies, with their blades in hand. It's time to purge this evil from the land. So crack a beer, join the crew, let the colors flow. BigDsBrush is live, yeah, welcome to the show. Let's paint!
Ha! I did it again. Here we go. Welcome everybody. This is BigDsBrush miniature painting. How is everybody? Yeah, I know. I need to remember to press the button. But never mind. Episode 3 will get it right. Mr. BitDot getting me in line there. I promise, episode 3 we'll have it correct. So where was I? Yeah, so I did have a really cool opening thing there, but never mind, we'll do it next time properly. It wouldn't be a stream by me if it wasn't slightly scuffed. But oh well, we're learning. Just like painting minis, we're learning, so eventually it'll be polished to perfection. So how is everybody? Welcome back, episode 2, and this stream is called Chaos Ascendant, Gilding of the Dark Gods. So what does that mean? Oh, by the way, this is actually the arcane journal here for the Warriors of Chaos. Such a cool front cover, really gives the feel and the vibes here. I love the artwork. I've been going through it the last couple of days, reading up, getting some inspiration, like stuff like this, artwork, banners, helmet designs, weapons, shields, more shields here. Just really cool. Obviously the studio models there, excellent inspiration, models old and new, some Marauder stuff there which we'll get into in a second. But yeah, so these arcane journals are really worth picking up, even if it's just for inspiration. So how is everyone? How's everyone in chat? Let's just take a minute here just to have a second or two just to let everyone roll in. Mr. BitDot, as always, thank you, brother. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Holding my hand as usual. But literally, episode 3, we'll get it, honestly, we'll get it right. I'll have it pitch perfect next time. So as always, I might make this a little thing for a while here, just because obviously I'm learning. I want to, in a way, not only are these streams obviously about painting minis, but obviously this is also my journey into streaming as well. And I feel, I know, like how I feel like when it comes to doing this. Like, I was really nervous and all that kind of stuff, and you can see there's an improvement from the pilot stream to like now, possibly like in how I'm talking, how I'm conducting myself. There's more confidence there, you know. So I just wanted to sort of show the kind of the behind the scenes, really, because in case there's anyone else out there that really wants to maybe paint on the stream or just stream in general. Yeah, absolutely, BitDsBrush, we're leveling up, and this is the what do you call it? This is like the you know, the traveler's guide. This is almost like my version of the Book of Noobs, I suppose, to have it related to my brother's stream there for his streams. But this is like my version where I write down my experience and my critiques of the stream I've just done. So this was the pilot stream, as I put aside that. So stream notes, pilot stream, and these are all my critiques and things. Here were the followers I had. Stop mumbling. That's still that will eventually. Here was my ideas for the next stream, which was the previous one. So I put Chaos Rising. I put painting blue armor, painting gold. We didn't get there. We did the blue armor last time. These were names for the hero that I was coming up with names, you see, for the character. I was going to go into this last time, but I never did, and I just sort of put a few little things down here as well. And then so here were my notes for the last stream I did. So True Beginnings, BigDsBrush, episode 1, Chaos Rising, stream notes. I put in there more energy. I'm trying to get that energy up for the streams. Intro was fine, is good. Transition stream was good, was better. However, forgot to turn on mic. Well, guess what? I forgot to turn the mic on again. So next time, episode 3, this won't happen. We will have that mic on. So yeah, so look, I said, look, my brother was there. He saved the day, and I just put that, laughed it off, because at the end of the day, like I say, I'm not a professional, and we're learning. So, and I don't want anyone else out there who wants to stream feel that if they don't get it right, then that's it, you know, they failed. No, of course not. Keep going. And so there we go. Just there we go. Last time I didn't introduce myself. Well, this time I did, but I didn't have the mic on, so I had to try again. And then just picked out flaws and things like that, and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, and then next stream notes. Have research, talk about my Chaos Army, talk about lore, that kind of thing there. And then maybe a schedule, but I'll get into that later on. And I had to just change my tags a little bit for the stream. So that was it, really. So that's all I wrote. And then obviously by the time this stream's over, I'll have it all on this page here. And then so again, literally the first thing I'll put, turn mic on. That's it. And then I'll read it and I'll try and remember for next time. So yeah, so that's my journal, the old streamer's journal. So as of course, as the intro says, crack a beer. I've got my drink of choice there. Obviously, whatever you're drinking, it's obviously in the UK right now. It's rather chilly. It's miserable. It's drizzly. It's very, very cold. So I'm assuming that, especially anyone in there in the UK, will probably be having like a nice hot beverage, a nice cup of tea, nice coffee, a nice cocoa, maybe hot chocolate. I'll tell you what, that's a nice, really nice beer. That, obviously, not giving any actual what do you call it? And I've got some water beside me as well in case I get dry mouth. So let's just see over on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube's going great. Obviously a slight delay on YouTube. And obviously Twitch is so okay, so there we go. Just got all my bits and pieces ready to rock and roll. So let's talk about plans. Let's talk about what's going to happen going forward. So essentially, this stream is going to be all about painting gold, dark gold. I said last stream that I would finish off the blue armor on the model and get it ready for all the gold and metal. I'm going to do gold and metallics, the metal, the dark steel. So here's the model. I've already done this leg here. So this is what we're going to do on this side here, and probably on these little emblems and stuff. So very, very subtle highlighting, but this nice start. And then I also went ahead and painted up. Hey up, Sleepy Joe! How's it going? Oh, bless you. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate the look, my man. I hope you're well. Yeah, so I've already put some base metallic colour here. I've done the blue on the collar here. The little hand there that's protruding, that's fully highlighted. The handle and the pommel of the sword there. And then if we flip it over, okay, all I've done here is, again, I've done the gold, the dark gold. I painted the scabbard here for the dagger, and I've given the inside of the hand here just a base colour. And the reason why, I mean, I painted all this up, but it was more as a test, really, to test my ideas for the recipe I wanted to do for the gold and the leather here. And I did some very subtle highlighting on the inside of the cloak here. And the reason why this isn't really that important, because it's going to be hidden, I'll show you in a second, but I wanted to make sure that this hand here and these bits were fully painted, because if I show you, we'll take the model, if we just temporarily attach the cloak, there we go, so there we go. So all that, the only way you can see the inside of that is if you turn the model over. So all that stuff I painted there you can't really see. However, you can see obviously the collar there. You can see the hand. You can see the handle, the handle of the sword, and of course the pommel of the sword as well. And you can see in that very, very corner the little bit of blue off of this. But what's great, of course, is that I was able to paint all this fully and just test all my my highlights, my shades, all out. Okay, so this is what we're going to go for. Okay, this is what the stream's all about. So we'll get on with that in a second. We're going to get on with some painting in a minute. But just for now, I wanted to just have a little bit of a chit chat, because obviously the reason why, the inspiration for painting this guy is in another week or so will be the actual release for the brand new Chaos Marauder models that are being produced for the game, for Warhammer the Old World. It's very exciting because it's the first time. There have been new models for the game that have come out, but this is like a very big. We already had Cafe, of course, and that was a very big release. But so there already exists miniatures for these units in the game, but these are complete refresh overhauls, and it's just so exciting because that means that, you know, we've got potential there for future refreshes of existing models, you know, older sculpts and so on and so forth. So just to show you, I'll bring them up on screen now. So these are this is the new army reinforcement set. This is what I pre-ordered recently, so I'm really looking forward to getting that. You've got a load of beautiful new Chaos actual Marauders there. I've got a close-up in a second. Chaos Marauder Horsemen, and of course actual foot units as well. Oh, absolutely, yeah, broski. Seriously, these are absolutely amazing. This is like, you know, current day, you know, 2025 level of sculpting, where, you know, the CAD sculpting, you know, digital sculpting. And just to show you, I'll bring you up the close-up. So this is the close-up of some of the models. So as you can see, they are much more, you know, sort of more Viking in appearance, much more. In the Warhammer universe, there is a place on the map called Norska, which is obviously Norse, which is you know, basically Viking-inspired units. But these just look so much, just so good. So much, you know, just so dynamic, and nice big shields and really cool weapons. And yeah, just I'm just so excited to basically take delivery of these models when they finally arrive. Plus, of course, the new book as well, which I'll be sinking my teeth into. Absolutely sinking my teeth into these, and which will be. I think these will actually be a big project. If you guys are interested in this will be a from start to finish project, okay? Well, obviously on stream I'll only paint, you know, a few of the models. I'll do the rest obviously off, but I'll show you unboxing. I will show you assemble. I'll show you cutting them off the sprue. I will show you cleaning up the models. I will show you assembly. I will show you how I go about doing sub-assembly, which I feel I may need to do on some of the models. We'll go through all that kind of good stuff. We'll have movement trays, basing. It's going to be a complete start to finish. So going for after when these are released, unfortunately when these do get released, I won't be here because I'll be with my brother. We're going to go see Papa D over for my birthday there, so we won't be in. I won't be around. But once I come back, I'll be sinking my teeth into them, and I will still have some time off work before I have to go back, where I'll be able to actually fire up a stream or two and actually unbox and really sink into these guys. So I think that'll be really, really amazing. So we'll just take those off the screen now. And another thing as well, which is really cool, this is Chaos related as well. I knew I had some somewhere, and I was digging around, and I found a whole bunch of these guys. Now I'm pretty sure these are Chaos Warrior. These are like I'm sure these are like late 1980s, early 1990s Chaos Warriors. They're at least late 1980s, 1990s, bro. Yeah, at least. And I have a bunch of these guys. And I think I've actually glued them onto 30mm bases, just for a comparison. And this is kind of like a cool thing that I kind of want to do. Let me just grab. I'll grab this guy here, or this unit. I'll grab this guy here. There we go. Oh, I tried to be a bit organized, but I didn't realize I just what I thought I'd show you. So this is obviously a current day. This is a actual Age of Sigmar Chaos Warrior, but these are so nice. And this is I've actually Zenithal primed these models, and I'll go into that because I'll be doing that for the Marauders anyway. But yeah, so there you go. Look, so there you have a 1980s, 1990s Chaos Warrior there, next to a 2000. When did I think these maybe came out? 2020, 2021 time. So there you go. And what I plan to do with these, as a little side thing, I'll be doing these as a personal project in between here and there, because these guys are going to be very classic looking and won't overly take too long to paint. I'm hoping I've got enough of these guys to do this, and I'll bring it up. Boom! So this is the box. This is the box that these guys would have came in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like you get 9 in the box. And look how these guys were painted. This is what I'm going to get into. I want to get into. I don't know. I don't have the box. I think I have maybe half of this. I think. 5, 6. I have 7. I've got 7 of those, 7 of these guys. So I'm sure on eBay I can easily find 2 more fairly cheap. And I'm going to basically I'm going to do a whole recreation of these. So each one that's painted there, I will recreate. I will paint this, basically this box art. So the reds and blacks, the reds and gold, this is basically what I mean by randomization. So look, so here you have basically the same sculpt. It's 9 of the same sculpt, and how the painters would, so how the painters would go about doing it is they would just paint them differently, and that would then give them some individuality. So I would love to actually do this at some point as a little special. So I could probably do these for like a chill stream or something. Maybe like paint one at a time during a chill stream. So that'd be quite cool. Because again, they're very simple to do, very simple models. And you're looking at you're looking at reds, golds, blacks. That's it really, and some silvers. So they'll all be highlighted the same anyway. So yes, that'd be very, very good. So that was really cool. I was rummaging through my stuff, and I was like, I'm sure I have some. And so basically, I put them on I'll just take this off the screen now. There we go. So I put this on because I mean these guys were on 25 by 25 bases originally, but in the new game, Chaos Warriors are on 30mm bases, which I like. I like the bigger bases for the models at the minute. And so I put them on because I can you know, these can make an appearance on my in my Chaos Army, you know, as a little fun thing, as a little throwback. So that's really cool. So that's a really interesting. I'm really looking forward to doing that as a project. And then of course, actually the Chaos Army in general. So yeah, I'll go talk about Xenophil priming when I come to the Marauders as well. So that'd be really cool. Because it's a whole different kettle of fish compared to this guy, which I'm obviously painting from a black, you know, a pure black base coat. So you can see the size difference there. Look, I mean, this guy's huge. The scale is just through the roof on this guy. But obviously, he's going to be a Chaos Lord, so I think he'll look really decent. I'm sure we'll be able to stick him in a unit somewhere. If not, it could be like a solo badass on the battlefield, just you know, hacking and slashing enemies. So that'd be really cool. Oh, actually, here we go. Look, so here's one of these guys. I've been cleaning these guys up. So there you go. These guys already had paint on them before when I got them off eBay ages ago. So I've been trying to remove the paint off them as best as I can and clean up a lot of the mold lines on it. But they go from, you know, that to like that, and they'll look great. I'll probably do a Xenophil Prime on these as well, just so the reds and stuff pop out really nicely. But we'll go through all of that. Yeah, that's what you're interested. Yeah, if you're interested in that, Broski, that's definitely going to be a series that I'll do 100%. Because I love doing classic models as well, like, you know, and then integrate them into, you know, the current day stuff, because that's what it should all be about. And that's what the actual guys. So the studio that's actually you know, overseeing Warhammer the Old World is a subsection of Games Workshop. They're called Specialist Design Studios, and they basically handled the Horus Heresy back in the day, which is the prequel to Warhammer 40,000. You know, all the miniatures and stuff like that. So, and they basically took charge of bringing back the old world, basically, and they have a very good. They seem to have a very nice philosophy when it comes to the game and the hobby, and they have re-released a lot of the older sculpts, especially a lot of the classic stuff from like the 80s and 90s. Some of it is made to order only, but they're giving you the chance to buy these old sculpts and then obviously, like, you know, paint them up and put them in your, you know, brand new army. So that's really cool. I like the fact that it basically it embraces the old and integrating it into the new, which I really like. When they're bringing out, you know, they're bringing out their new stuff as well. You know, and I've got loads of examples of models they've sculpted and released for Warhammer the Old World, and they're absolutely amazing. So what are we now? So yeah, we're actually at the half hour now. This is now it's now 7:30. Anyone that's joined the stream, sorry Joe, it's older than me. Oh, yeah. So anyone that's joined, welcome to the stream. And in this stream, we're going to be I'm going to be teaching you how I'm going to be painting some dark golds on these guys. And I understand that maybe you think, well, that gold isn't that dark. But if I had some of the brighter hues of gold that I have in my collection, and if I painted it like side by side, you would see a huge, you know, difference in tone in the golds, because essentially the all I've done. I'll show you the golds I'm using for the gold armor there. And of course, we also are going to be painting the chainmail, and we're going to be painting that a very dark, worn metallic color, like a steel or dark iron kind of color, which will be really nice. And we've got this little emblem thing here as well. Stefu, Bosh. I'm good, thank you. How are you? Welcome in, bud. Welcome in. Grab a seat. Yeah, so like I said, obviously I painted the yeah, we're ready. It's 6:30. I always like to spend the first half hour just having a little bit of a preamble there and just getting to just talking to the chat there and just giving you a little update really. So yeah, let's do some painting. As Mr. Bitdot there rightly says. Oh, by the way, also I did start painting the blue on the hand there for the sword, but that's another story. We'll get to that another day. Let's focus on this armor. Right, so we will not be using. Oh, I need to obviously do a transformation here. Transformation powers begin. There we go. Just to take the shine off the doodah there. And it should be. Yeah, okay, it's cool. I made sure the camera wasn't in auto zoom, so. Cheek. So what you saying? Just came back to the hotel and cracked open the piece. Oh, bless you, Stefu. I remember you saying in my brother's stream there, BigDsBrush stream, you're obviously on business. Bless you. Don't stress him. He will paint. It'll take more than that to make me paint outside the lines there. Sleepy Joe Gate, living the celeb life. So let's do this. So here we go. You see, I'm getting a bit more confident now, guys, when we're talking. So we are not going to be using the wet palette today, simply because we are using metallics, and you tend not to use metallic paints on a wet palette. It's just the way the metallic paints there are formulated and stuff. You don't want too much water. Moisture, so you really are very controlled with the gold there. I was going to use this little thing here. This is actually a metal. I'll show you. This magnetizes onto the wet palette I have here. This is the wet palette. This is actually a little cool, and it magnetizes onto the side there. So this is what this is designed for. This is designed for any glazes or washes or any metallic colors that you might be using on your models. It just gives you like some wells to use there. But the amount of metallics we're going to be using and the washes, there's just not enough available wells there for me. So I've digged out this. I bought this ages ago, and all this is like a pound shop. You buy these in like a pack of 5 or something for £1, or in America it might be like your dollar store or whatever. Just go to one of them. But you don't need expensive things. This is like this little kiddies. Yeah, this is like a little kiddies arts and crafting. That's all it is. It's like nothing. It's like probably cheap, made in China. Like I say, I've got 5 of these for like £1, and they're really useful. And you can, what I like about these is you can do a progression, so you can fill each segment with each different tone. So there's your darkest, your mid-tone, your light tone, your lightest or whatever, and you can do your mixes in between. So I would have my 2 main colours here and a mix in the middle, and then you just do that. So each one is like your secondary colour there. So let's actually put that into practice. Let's actually show. So let's show the. So we'll start with the. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the actual metallics first, the dark metal metallics, just because while that dries, I can then do the gold there. So what I'm going to be. I want to start with a very, very dark metallic base. Is all because I've got this beautiful blue armor here, so you don't want everything to be really, really bright. So we're going to go with dark metals here. So this is just a Vallejo game color. This is what's this one called? Dark gunmetal. Okay. So essentially, this is a very, very, very dark metallic with plenty of black in there. So I'm just going to So we'll use this side here for the silvers, and then we'll use this side here for the golds, because the highlight color, believe it or not, will be the same for each. So the final highlight color is this here. This is steel. So I'm going to add steel to the final highlight for each one, so it'll make sense. So by the time we get to here, this is the steel, and these will be the final highlight, so that it'll make sense. So let's just, I'm going to grab a decent brush here. This is a Winsor & Newton watercolor. This is sable, but it's basically a very small, a very fine cat tongue brush there. Okay. So, and the reason why, and I'm going to just take, again, you don't want too much water in your metallic paints here. So I'm just going to add the tiniest amount, and what that's going to do is just let the paint just flow better. Okay, so there we go. There's it's nothing special, just some dark gunmetal, and we're going to paint this chainmail here, and we want to make sure that we get all of it. Be very careful. We don't want to get the catch anything that we don't want to. Okay, I can switch to a finer brush, but I like the idea, just to speed up a little bit. Just these, you do. You put your brush at the top and pull down. I want to make sure I hit the sides as well. Hit the back there. I was going to move that light a second just because my brush is catching it a second. Okay, so there we go. And even if we go over this belt buckle, doesn't matter. Because last stream, right at the very end, I showed basically what's called reclaiming. Because I painted all this in a black color, any areas that aren't meant to be this metallic color, when we finish painting everything, we can then go over that area with solid black paint, and then just basically re-black it up again, and then we can start doing. This is going to be like a very dark leather color. Just gonna drop. There we go. Just want to set that down just a touch. So there we go. So this is our base coat. Okay. So now, while this is going to dry, we will switch to our gold. So that's nice and simple. And basically, where we're going to get, we'll get our depth in this chainmail by using washes, and the washes will go in the recesses. That will create our shades. Yeah, broski, bless you. You say you got the hit harder, bless you, with a fucking bug or whatever. Here we go, down to action. Thanks, Joe. We're actually going to get some. I say pretty much most of my streams, the first half hour, guys, will always be a little bit of a preamble before we do some actual painting. Yeah, you're still on the grind now, and your broski for your streams. Going to be really, really cool. I did see yours and Joe's posts for the collab. The upcoming collab. I can't wait for that. That is going to be so, so good. See, he is the bug. You think I get the bug? I am the bug. I am the danger. I am the one that knocks. Okay, so let's paint the switching brushes here. And we will. I want much more control now when we're painting this gold. Okay. So we will bring the palette back down again, and here we're going to use our darkest gold. So here are the colours that we're going to be using. It's only a couple of colours for the actual gold itself, and then for the shades as well. I'll show you what we're going to use for the shade colour, because you'll be very surprised, I think. Okay, so for the base of the gold here, I'm using this. This is Privateer Press. This is a Formula P3. This is blighted gold. This is just my own label I made when I explained last stream that as an experiment for a few years back, I removed the labels off some of my paint pots because I wanted to do a experiment where I didn't rely on the names of paints. I wanted to rely on the color that is shown through the actual bottle, because just to obviously clarify, a lot of these paints, they all have like they're all real colors. They're all real colors that exist on the spectrum and the the color spectrum and stuff like that. But a lot of so like games companies, for instance. So Games Workshop, Privateer Press, or whatever, even Army Painter, companies like that, they will give. So for here, so this is the shade color. This is called Drushy Violet. Yeah. This is a race in the Warhammer 40,000 world. So this is actually a race of of people. So that isn't actually a that's not a known. That's not like this is not an actual color. This is the color here. This is the violet's the color, but the naming, the demarcation of it is basically it's in universe. Whereas if you have something like this, okay, this is Vallejo model color. So these actually have proper names. So Hull Red is actually a recognized color in painting circles, not just miniature painting, but oil painting and that kind of thing. So these are actual real color names. These are the shade or whatever, the hue, but with like their trademark like name or whatever it's to do with. So there's that example there. So yeah, so you have here, like, so for instance here, this is a Formula P3 Privateer Press. This is called Famar Black. Well, really it's just called black because Famar is basically a place in the War Machine universe that these paints were basically made to to basically accompany basically. So the names of paints like these type of ones don't usually mean anything. So, go for the color, go for the hues. This is a really good experiment to always do, is to turn whatever kind of pot you have, whether it's a dropper bottle or it's a paint pot, turn them upside down. Look at the actual bottom, look at the actual hues, okay? That's what you need to sort of kind of look at as opposed to the names. But the names are obviously a way to identify and to be able to like say follow guides and stuff like that easier. So it's just obviously it's for ease of use really. But again, like this is blighted gold, but really all it is basically like a really dark gold. This has got like loads of green in it basically. So you'd find another paint range that would have this gold in it. So that's the reason. So that's why it has like a homemade label for, and not one that looks like this. So let's just we're going to grab a fair bit of this gold. We're going to basically put that into the well there, okay? And again, tiniest, like literally all I'm doing. I can't really show you because I can't bring the cup into frame. But I'm literally just I'm dipping the very tip of the brush into my water, but not for too long because it will absorb the water. So just literally like a little, just dip it in, and that will give you more than enough water just to thin the gold out enough. But you don't want to thin this out like you would do a normal acrylic paint, because this has metallic flakes in it. That's how they make the metallic acrylics, is by adding in actual flakes of metallic flakes basically. So you add more and more water to this, all you'll get is basically separation of the breakdown of the paint, and you just get metallic flakes everywhere. So it just wouldn't work. So I'm gonna just one thing that's really good to do is if you have a fair amount of paint on your brush here, just I like to do this. I like to pull the brush along and just twist it slightly, and that will help bring it to a point there. So let's just start painting this knee pad here, and then also need to paint this one here as the gauntlet here as well. Well, I'm not like overly clever in terms of like sorry, I'll get my words out. I'm getting figured up here. So the process of making paints is actually chemistry. So you actually hear manufacturers refer to the people that design the formulas for the paints as chemists, because they are literally dealing with formulas and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very there are videos online. You can see how acrylic paints and oil paints and stuff are made. It's very fascinating. It's very useful. I want to say it's useful to understand the the anatomy of paint and what you can do with it and what you can't do with it and so on and so forth. So here we go. I'm just going to just start slapping down this gold here. It's going to be very I want to be very careful with it though. Okay, I'm just going to bring it to the don't try not to go over, obviously. We don't want to ruin that beautiful blue that we've already done. So let's just this is a really I love this dark gold color. And you wait and see when we shade this as well, like what the shading is going to do to this. Okay, so just don't worry about getting it all covered on your first pass as well. When I will do a video about how to base coat properly, like efficiently. But the idea is that you essentially you move the brush over an area once, okay? For your first, you're gonna do multiple passes. Okay, you'll do 2-3 passes. You're never gonna base coat in one go. Okay, if you do, your paints are too thick. Now, obviously, in the case of metallic paints, because we don't thin them out as much, they will cover a lot better on the first pass. But we're still going to give it a second pass and a third pass as well. And what I like to do on the third pass is literally give it like a almost like a glaze of the paint. I do tend to just the final pass, I do tend to thin down slightly more than normal. But all that does is kind of just helps to smooth out maybe any patchiness. Okay, can you see that? Can you see? Okay, there we go. Can you see where you've got the I'll use the other end of the bush here. So you got the boot there, and then you've got that what were they I think the gaiters, that was it. I think last time I had to look what the actual technical term was for this piece of armor that covers the shins. They're called gaiters. You want to just turn your brush over. Just make sure you run your brush over the edge. But again, we need to be very careful. Make sure you're only using the tip. Make sure you're using the tip of the brush to do that. Don't do big long strokes. Sorry, it made me bloody made me chuckle there. That always reminds me of but always reminds, because the thing is though, broski, it always reminds me of Bottom. You know, the birthday one, which is, I think, it's definitely the Richie's birthday. That episode is definitely in my top top 5 episodes of bottom of all time. And just the when he thinks Eddie has brought him a lady for the day or whatever, a lady for the night, and it turns out that it's just a race. It's a racehorse. And Eddie says to Richie, "I have given you a red hot tip," and Richie goes, "I know, there's nothing I can do about it now, is there?" So I just always, when I think of tips, I always think of a red hot tip there. I don't know. Maybe we'll do maybe we'll have a fun segment. Maybe we'll do a funny segment on the streams. Maybe we'll do something called Big D's tip or something like that. Big D's red hot tip. And I'll give an actual tip on painting or whatever, like a little quick tip on something. I like this track a lot. This track is really good. I heard it quite a bit. I mean, obviously I know it's in the compilation here, but I've heard this track before. So good. Okay, so there we go. So there's sorry, I'm just going to show you. That's the first base coat there, and I just want to make sure I also base coat this. Try not to knock the thingy over, Daniel. Okay, so there we go. Now I can see here where the bit of the armor, maybe a bit of the arm here, should probably be painted. Oh shit, that was close. Well, I nearly fucking painted the blue then. I can see where this underside here should be blue, but that's okay because I can be sloppy around here now. I can be really sloppy with the gold. Okay, with the application of gold, I can be really sloppy, and then when we come to I can then reclaim all this with black paint, and then I can paint this blue, because you're not going to see much of this anyway, this section here. So I'll just reclaim this with black, and then I can go with that with a very dark blue, and just do a very subtle highlight there. So that's going to be really cool. I appreciate your kind words there, broski. I don't know. I just don't think I have enough confidence in my painting really to really ever do anything like that. I think maybe sometime, maybe down the road, maybe on my what do you call it, as a thing to do, before, just one of those kind of things, when you do like a things I want to do before, before the end kind of thing. Maybe I'll enter a model into a competition. What do you reckon? We'll see. Maybe we could do maybe that's like a future thing down the road. I mean, all I'm doing here really is I'm just doing some very, very nice. Okay, let's talk about a tip. Okay, let's talk about a tip. So my tip is this, and I will go into this again with the painting of those. As I said, of course I want to watch you play games, you bloody idiot there. Joe, you're like fucking, you just, I mean, you got fucking, you got people fucking clambering, mate, to fucking watch you play World of Warcraft. It's just, it's good shit, man. Really good shit. Well, it's like we say, it's like, yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's that thing of like, I'm going to learn to walk first, before I run. I want to just focus on. I want to focus on my streams. I want to focus on getting them as crisp as I can, It's like today, Joe. You missed the start, mate. I figured it again. I bollocksed it again with the intro. I even wrote in my journal from last time. Make sure I turned the mic on. The mic was still off. Rick had to remind me again. So episode 3, I guarantee we will have it We will have it spot on next time, I promise. Oh, okay. Yeah, but I need to make sure. I just need to fucking. The thing is, though, what it is with me is I'm trying to make sure that the countdown and stuff is all pristine, you know, with the song and everything, and then the transition into the background music. I like having that kind of. What I like to do is obviously when the so what I do just to obviously make just because what I do is because the song that I made in the program there is 3 minutes and 44 seconds long, and the countdown the countdown originally was 5 minutes long, and I changed it to 4 minutes. So what I do is when I hit the countdown, I let like a couple of seconds go by, and then when it gets to like the 3:45 mark or whatever, that's when I press play. So if there's no music immediately, it's because I'm just waiting for it, because that way when the song ends, it will end roughly about the same time it says ready, and then when the ready pops up, I give that a minute or like 30 seconds, and then I hit play on the playlist there for the music. So the music comes in, and then I transition to the main screen. So I was too busy trying to make sure I was getting that right, and yeah, I'll make sure the mic's on next time. I'll write it in my journal afterwards. I'll put, you know, make sure it's on. Get it right next time. Okay, so as you can see, we base coated that section there. That bit there, really, you'll see a little bit there. That should be blue. But again, I can go in there with a fine brush, go in there with a bit of dark blue later on, and then if I get any on the cape, I can just go over that with black again. So that's fine. The inside there, don't need that. And then so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do another pass with the gold there. But what I'm going to do, I'll bring it in, is I will thin this out just a little bit more than normal, okay? Because you had me saying before that you thin it out too much. But what I'm doing with this pass is I'm just smoothing out the layer. I'm smoothing out, okay? So I'm making sure, because any so you can see I'm just smoothing out that layer. Don't worry about the recesses too much, because we are going to hit that with a wash, okay? We're going to hit that with a shade, and that shade is going to make the gold really pop, really stand out. This is very, very simple. Very, very easy. It's just brush control. Oh yeah, sorry. The tip I was going to give. Yeah. The tip is the secret to I think a good-looking model. Okay, I'm not talking about. I mean, like even for a beginner. Practice. Base coating your model. Practice on doing really clean base coats, okay? Really clean, really smooth base coats. For instance, look at this gold here, okay? All I've done is base coated that. So you imagine if we had a nice dark blue base coat, this gold base coated, the inside of this cloak, I've actually highlighted this a little bit, but I'll highlight it more. It's very subtle at the minute. I was just playing around with the thingy there. Oh, Joe, don't worry. I've asked Father Christmas. Oh, Father Christmas has got our list, Joe. Oh, he's checking it twice. He's trying to find. He's gonna find out if I'm naughty or nice. Yeah. I've asked old Father Christmas there for a few bits there, Joe. We're gonna have some very clean streams, especially when it comes to the audio side of things as well. I'll put it that way. yeah. So sorry. Yeah, I was saying the base coats. So if you practice your base coats before, don't even worry about highlights. Don't worry about shading. Don't worry about highlights. Just practice on putting down really. I mean, I'll say we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do a what you call it. We'll do an actual lesson, actual proper lesson, a fundamentals lesson. I'll do in one stream where I will show you. I will base coat an entire model in the stream and show you how just a really neatly base coated model can look amazing on the tabletop. You know, the base, you know, paint the base up, put some grass on there or whatever, have everything all painted up. A beautifully base coated model can make all the difference. Okay, so there we go. So this gold here, again, this gold here, it's just base coated. That's all it is. There's no actual. But obviously, what shading and highlighting obviously does, it will give it depth. Will give the model depth, and that's how. But there's no point doing all that if your base coats are not very, you know, are not very smooth. So it's been half an hour. It's been an hour, sorry, in total in the stream. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm trying to give a lesson here, a detailed. So there we go. So there's the base coats. So that gold, look at that. That looks beautiful. Even the you know, just the silver is, you know, is base coated. So while the gold is now drying, I want that to dry up. Acrylic paints don't take long to dry, but I don't want to put any washes on this now, okay? Because any washes I put on here now will lift up that last layer of paint I put on there and to make it a mess. So while this is drying, let's move on to this chainmail again. Now let's talk about shading. Let's talk about washes. Okay. Now you can just use normal acrylic paints for your washes, and we can make our own washes. And I'll be doing that as a last step, because in the last stream, I believe it was last stream, I talked about this color here. This is whole red. Okay, so this is a red with a lot of blue in it. This is a really lovely color. It's like basically it looks brown on screen, but it's a red. It's in the red spectrum. And also has that little shift towards the blues. This is a beautiful color to use for as on weapons and stuff like rust and things like that. So this, once the armor's done that nice chainmail, we will give it little splotches of this here and there. And what that will also do is it will tie it in to the rest of the model as well. I talked about this before. So the inside of this cape is going to be this kind of dark grey kind of colour, black and dark grey with a little very, but then the outside of the cape here is going to be a red colour, and the deepest shade for that red will be this colour here. I still want it to be quite you know, quite dark, still quite grim dark. So I'll probably, like, the highest highlight on this will be probably like a lightish red. So we're going from a brownish kind of red to a lightish red. But so using this on maybe, say, if I was doing a normal steel sword, if you put a couple of splotches of this very thin down on certain areas of the weapon and on the chainmail, you know, that will then tie those bits in with the cape because it has the same color in it. What I talked about this a little bit before, you kind of want to use the same colors in certain places if you can, or have a common theme throughout the model that sort of reoccurs. So we'll talk about that later on, because that's obviously after we've got all this down. So let's talk about shading. We're gonna do, I want dark and dingy. So we're gonna use a couple of combinations here. This is actually an old thing here. This is Formula P3. This is Privateer Press. This is called Armor Wash. Okay. So what this is a black with some blue in it. okay, which is a very good armor wash color. So if you ever want like a really nice looking armor, you can make this yourself with some black ink, some blue, thin it down, and then give that. So this is basically that essentially. So I'm going to put that in my well here. Just a couple of drops. I don't need much. We don't have a lot of steel to paint really. And then this is just a brown wash as well. This is Agrak Surf Shade, but it's just a brown wash. Okay. You could add in so all I'm going to do is mix these two together. So I'm going to grab a junk brush. I've got a junk brush somewhere. It's always useful to have a junk brush just to mix colours up with, so you don't ruin you don't knacker your brushes there. I'll just use the cat tongues brush because it's a I'm going to just mix these two together. I'm going to add plenty of brown in there, plenty of brown. I want to really sort of that black and blue and brown work really well together as well. You can shade brown with a you can shade a light coloured brown with a dark blue, and you can shade blue with a brown. Just as long as it's in the in that spectrum. You can't just mix. And I'll go into that one at some point as well. You can't just mix two colours together, and because sometimes the way the colours are, the properties of the colours will cancel each other out, and they'll just make it brown and make it to a brown mush. So if you mix like green and red together, if they're like not on the same spectrum, they'll just end up like turning into bloody mush. So there we go. Look, this is our little wash we made. This is a heavy wash. This is very, very heavy. But that's fine. What we're doing. Move the palette out of the way. Bring the... Oh, I've never really... I mean, I've got tons of paints anyway. It's very rare that I've run out. But you'll find that if you buy, because I've got too many paints to be fair, and if you're new to painting or you're just starting out, you might buy like, I can show you quickly. You might buy something like this, okay? I'll bring it underneath if you can see it very well. So this is a hobby set. There you go. So in this set you get 50 acrylic paints. Okay, Army Painter do one of these. I'm pretty sure, Games Workshop do one as well. I think most paint ranges will do something like this, and you get a whole, they give you enough colours here to basically like, and then with these colours you'll be able to mix other colours as well. So you've got infinite possibilities with those kind of things. Again, it's about what's your budget. So what kind of budget do you have? Or how many what kind of models do you intend to paint? How many of those models do you intend to paint? Are you going to paint, big armies? Are you just painting a small, a battalion? Or are you painting a battle force or whatever the 40k equivalents are? I think they're called like combat patrol or whatever. And if you're painting a specific, faction or color scheme, then you don't need to go out and buy loads and loads of paints. You just need to buy the paints that are relevant to that color scheme and so on and so forth. So, and then in that case, you may find that you may run out of a certain color more so than others or whatever, or more frequently. But it depends how much you're painting really. But I think I have like maybe like 2 of each color or whatever. So, for instance, this. Dark Prussian blue here. I have another one of these as well. I've got like 2 because I just go to the place in town or whatever, and I'll see what paints they've got, and then I'll buy a couple or whatever. I'll see a color that I like, what you call it, and then just sort of I've kind of got a thing for for probably buying more than I need. But yeah. So I think in general, if you're just you're buying a few paints and you're not painting that much, you should be okay. So here we go. There's that wash look, and look at the difference this makes. And the great thing about a wash, so washes already have basically like a flow aid in them, which basically allows them to, what that does is basically it breaks down the surface tension. Yeah, and it basically it starts to fill. So those tiny little those links, those chainmail links there, it starts to fill those in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that just dry quickly, and what we will do is I will add more brown to the mix there, more brown wash. You could add some actual brown acrylic paint to it as well, just to give it a bit more of an oomph. But like I said, we'll be going over once I've shaded and then highlighted the chainmail and picked out certain little areas. Once that's fully done, we will be going in with splotches of that whole red color that I mentioned before, thinned down. It'll give that kind of rust appearance, which is going to be quite nice. Or it'll give, or maybe the appearance of dried blood as well, which is always quite cool. Especially for these guys, these are chaos warriors. These basically just more or less like mow down everything in their path. They are just absolute, they're butchers basically. They are without mercy. So that look really quite nice. But again, it'd be like little bits here and there, not too much, because I still want to have that. I want to have that. That metallic come through. That I don't want to be too overwhelming. Otherwise, it's just pointless. Painting the thing in the first place. So while that wash is going to take a minute or two to dry. So while that's doing that, we can go back to the gold again. So let's do the wash for because these will stay wet in these palettes as well, which is quite cool. So for the gold, so here's the little trick. So gold, what is it essentially? Well, the long and the short of it all is it's basically like a metallic yellow. Okay, to break it down in simple terms, but obviously there's the composition of whatever color gold you're using will have different traits. So for instance, this one has a lot of green in it, maybe some brown in there, some green, but there's still that kind of yellow, that yellow overtone to it. So in my in the pilot episode that I did, where I showed you some of that the archer that I painted, where his tunic or whatever it was, the cloth was yellow, like a really nice, bright, vivid yellow. Well, the accent color that I did for that was a purple color. Okay, so purple. If you look at this is the whole color wheel thing. Is purple is the complementary color to yellow. Okay, you can also use a blue that shifts more towards maybe the purple side. However, you look at something like the old school ultramarines, they were a bright blue with yellow shoulder trim, and then eventually they became like a darker blue with gold trim. So you see again, it's that blue but the base color was kind of like a blue that was into the purples for the main base color, for the shade color, for the base color, and then it would go into a lighter blue. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to shade the gold using purple, and this works really, really well. And where did I put this ash? Like, for that, I can't lose that. So what we're going to do, just for simplicity, I'm going to use this Citadel, so basically this violet color. Okay, ignore the name here. So any brand of paint that you have, so it could be sorry, was that? Do you know much about like the ranks of Marines? What within the lore and stuff? Not too much. Not very much, to be fair. I'm not. It's kind of I kind of what you call it? I love all that stuff, and I do watch. I'll watch like some videos online and stuff, like people talking about the lore and things like that. But I don't really like retain the information very well. But I know they do have. I know there's different like shoulder trim and stuff for. I wanted to know the school guy on the Space Marines too. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, I'm not very what do you call it, Joe? I'm not very knowledgeable on the lore, especially with 40k. There's plenty of if you probably typed in on YouTube the guy or whatever, type in that and then lore. There'll be videos there for you. I do want to start to include some lore around, like based around the model that I'm painting. So I'm going to be pushing up on my my chaos lore for the next few streams. So we can have a little bit we can talk a little bit more about the lore and get more invested in, you know, in the because that helps to create a story, create a scene, create a atmosphere for you know, the model that we're painting. So I enjoy it very much. I buy all the books. I mean, I have the you know, the chaos book here, and I just need to brush up and read on the stuff. So yeah, so sorry, we're going to use violet here, okay? So all you need is basically a purple or sort of on the purple spectrum wash or ink, okay? So this is Citadel. You could use Army Painter. You could use AK. You could use, I think, Privateer Press. The new formulas do have washes and inks again now. I need to look into that. To be fair, I haven't really. I mean, I do look. They are probably my favourite paints in the that are out there. They have been for a very long time. I was so gutted because originally, so the these ones, the flip pot, the paint, the actual pots, these guys, these have been around for years. I think 2005, 2006, something like that. And then for a while there, they stopped making them. There was something to do with the manufacturers or the company. I think Privateer Press actually went under very recently, a few years ago or so. But luckily, and these, listen, the great thing about this is that Privateer Press was an American company, American founded. But the guy that went to go work for them and work in their the design studio, for the models and stuff, was a British guy called Mike McVeigh. Now, Mike McVeigh is very important in the hobby industry. He was a very young lad when he joined Games Workshop back in the late 80s, and eventually went on to be the head of the heavy metal department during the 90s, and painted some of the most wonderful miniatures. And I'll probably do a showcase. Like, I'll show you some pictures at some point. Anyway, sorry, back to the point. So these paints, he went to go work for them, and he was tasked with also coming up with a paint line for them. And the idea would be that the paint line would rival that of Games Workshop. And at that time, Games Workshop paints were not. I didn't like them that much at all. A very limited range of colours, and I think they were like, you know, they were manufactured overseas. Well, Mike McVeigh, when he used to work at Games Workshop, he made sure that the paints were made in the UK, and it's a well-known manufacturer of paints in the UK. So he actually went back to that same manufacturer for his P3, his Formula P3 line. So these are actually made in the UK, and luckily, a British company got the rights to basically re-release these, but they did it right. They actually went back and reformulated a lot of the colors with, like, you know, there's newer technology, newer pigments, newer techniques, and so on and so forth, new chemistry. And so what we have now is, and they are these ones now. So this is, and that was the box I showed you there, the Privateer Press hobby set. 50 paints. There's the whole range of them. There's more than 50. And these are the new reformulated paints. I'm so glad they're back. And these are amazing, absolutely amazing. And these are probably what I'll be using predominantly for like painting videos, you know, going forward essentially. But I'm using what I have. I'm trying to show in these videos that you can use a multitude of different ranges. You use what you have. So anyway, so it's a bit of a sidetrack there. So yeah, you've got the purple here, the violet wash. What I'm also going to add in is some of this royal purple from this is from Vallejo. This is the old game color range. This has since been reformulated by another really good painter, a Spanish guy. And I always get his Angel Gilding or something. Very amazing. He's reformulated the entire game color line and has recently come out with a true metallic metal line of paints as well, which has basically taken the hobby community by a storm. They are gonna just sell out like no one's, but they're gonna be phenomenal. But these are great formulas. These paints here, these were essentially Vallejo's answer to Games Workshop's original line of paints. So like the 1990, I want to say like 90s, early 2000, maybe 98, 1998, 1999 range, I think, something like that. And this is their answer to them basically. So they were basically essentially the same hues of colours. Anyway, so I'm going to add in. I'm going to add in if it works. Oh, I need to poke the top quick. Oh, that's why I always keep a pin nearby, just so I can poke it. You need sometimes the dropper bottles, they get gunked up. Just have a pin or a paper clip nearby, okay, and then just unclog the thing. Or you can just do this as well. Just take the nozzle off. Take the nozzle off, okay, and just tap some of the paint onto there as well. That works just as well. All I'm after really is just a tiny little bit of purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm adding in a little bit of acrylic purple. Okay, this is the acrylic purple. This is stronger, obviously has a stronger pigmentation to it, but also is a slightly different hue, obviously, to the violet there. And all I'm doing is just darkening it, okay. And I'm going to add this to the wash there. Okay, there we go. Finally, eventually, he gets around to actually thinking there. But I do love talking about the hobby. You know, I don't want this to be kind of like I don't want this just to be what do you call it, like just watching me paint in silence or whatever. I do want to actually you know, discuss painting. So I might actually use a finer brush for this. Okay, so I'm gonna just get this wash. Okay, now so what we're gonna do is we are going to go into the recesses. Just paint it in the recesses, in the shadows. Can you see that okay, guy? Can you see that? We'll do multiple passes on this, don't worry. It'll just intensify the purple a little bit there, okay? And then we're going to just essentially just do that. So and also the point of using the wash again is just to help the it's already diluted. It's already got the all the flow improver and stuff in it. It will naturally find its it will naturally go into the recesses. So it just helps. just helps the purple to get into the recesses there. We'll go in with there we go, like that. So now that purple's starting to show. And then of course we're going to do underneath. Okay, so underneath here we are also going to just put some of the shade of this darker colour just on the lower extremities of the gold there, and then we're going to, this will help a lot as well, make a fine tip, okay, very very fine point. So here, if you can see, there is some like ornamentation where the metal is actually raised up slightly. So you'll see it here where I've done it here, where I painted it here. So in the recesses of that sort of design of that ornamentation, we're going to run shade color. Oh, okay. Doesn't matter if you go over, because we can go over that with the highlight color anyway. Because all we're trying to do here is just accentuate that design. So when we go in with the highlight color, it'll stand out more against the purple. I'm also going to bring the shade not on the edge, just underneath there. So where there's a lip. So this piece of armor here sticks out more, okay, and then this is recessed down. So I'm going to just bring that in and pull that down, just to help with the shade there, just to help give a little shade to the armor. I might do it a little bit here as well, not much, just a little bit, but this gives that indication of shadow. And what we're going to do anyway is we're going to clip the edge. We're going to run the highlight color on the edge of the armor anyway. But this purple, this purple wash is what's going to help give us that dark gold appearance. It's the dark shades. All I'm doing now is just all I'm doing is adding in a little bit more of that purple. Into the wash there, just to and we're going to just have another pass with the okay, there we go. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then just again, just touch that lower part, because that's in shadow. Okay, so the cape there, the doodah shining down, the sun's shining down. There isn't going to be much sunlight there. And again, remember, we're going for contrast. Okay, we're going for contrast. So you want to have the juxtaposition of the blue armor, bright blue armor. Well, bright. I say bright, but it's brighter than obviously the probably one of the brighter aspects of the model. You know, the blue. You want to have a juxtaposition. Sorry, I'm talking juxtaposition. So you want dark and light to basically work in harmony with each other. If this whole model was just overloaded again with just pure bright colors, it'll be just overpowering. It wouldn't look good. Even in the some of the paint styles are like, you know, the older style, the 1990s and stuff. The you know, like the classic, say, looking Space Marines, the bright blue and the bright blue, the yellow shoulder pauldron trim, and then like the bright red bolt guns. Okay, so you had red, yellow, and blue, and they were quite bright colours. But you would have them offset. They would be offset by like a bolt gun metal for the muzzle of the gun and stuff like that. The weapon holsters. Okay, so I do genuinely prefer like the 1990s bright style, which is why I can appreciate all of the styles, but I just think the Ultramarines with not just the Ultramarines, not just like, so for instance, let's take 40k as an example. Okay, I just think they just looked more. For me, again, it's that comic book aspect. For me, it was like they were like out of a comic book. You know, they were. So you had the bright blue, yellow trim, red bolt guns, yeah? And then, you know, the Blood Angels were bright red, Dark Angels were like, you know, dark green, but with sort of like very light green with yellow in there for the edge highlights and stuff. And you had red on them as well, bright reds. Space Wolves with that beautiful baby blue looking colour. Everything just had like a really popped. They just popped, look really nice. And then go for like Warhammer Fantasy. It was just so out there, you know. It just looked, again, it was very bright, very vibrant, very comic booky, very just I suppose in a way sort of very 90s. But the thing is, though, before that, in the 80s, when Warhammer Fantasy sort of first came about, and of course 40k as well into the later 80s, obviously that was very sort of they were very 80s art inspired, you know. A lot of the classic you know, style artwork, it was just amazing, like all the like the watercolor pictures, all those fantasy pictures, like, you know, the front cover art for you know, films and stuff like Conan and all that kind of stuff. They were all painted, you know. They were these they were like dark, but like had dark colors, but like very vibrant as well. Yeah. So Susie, hello, welcome in. So yeah, broski, I mean, I kind of, you'll see that I kind of have a I kind of try and blend the two. So I kind of go for the you know, I add in areas of like vividness, like here, but then of course, you know, the base and stuff, when it's all done, and the fur will be like, you know, natural. This is what I'm going to talk about. So what I was going to talk about was you had grounding colours. I'm really well, Susie. I hope you are too. You had grounding colours. So while you had like really bright colours on the model, you would have colours like neutral colours that would help pull the model back in, like ground it slightly. So that would be like blacks, greys, dark browns, you know, leather browns, that kind of thing. So for instance, on this guy, I'm going to be, you know, this the fur here is going to be like dark brown. Dark. I need to be careful because I don't want the highlighting of this. Obviously, will be different to this. This is like going to be red, but with like brown, in the, you know, reddish brown in the reset in the shade colors, moving to like a nice red heat on these. You can sort of already see where the highlight, the main highlight, is going to be on that cape, yeah, because the natural light helps do that as well. And that's another little tip as well. If you have black prime model, just put it under your light. Okay, and just see where the light hits it. and that's where your main highlight color is going to be. So you can work it out that way, which is quite nice. Oh, Susie, oh, bless you. I can understand that, Suze. But you know, you're with us now. You're with the gang. You know, come in and just chill. You know. Hopefully, we can just like maybe cheer you up for a few minutes there, Suze. What do you reckon? So yeah, so Broski, it's gonna be like these are gonna be a dark brown, red, or whatever. So it should. But can you guys see the purple shading there? Like how that really helps lifts the model. So while that's drying, I'm gonna go in with the next wash, of course, for the. Now I've just realised I should have put that wash colour over here. Like an idiot, I put it over here. It doesn't matter. Okay, so here's our. Yeah, that's right, Susie. With your guys. We are your guys. Oh, broski, that's so well put. Yeah. Oh, was it as what was it? As Bob Ross also used to say, is that you gotta have dark to see the light. You need darkness to see the light. You know. So those moments help us just realise, you know, the good times and stuff more. You know. So what I'm doing here, guys and gals, what I'm doing here is adding in some more of the brown to the wash there. Okay. And all we're going to do is kind of like, I'm not going to like hit everywhere with this. I want to kind of be, so in the top area there, and kind of just sort of, just kind of do this really, kind of just do that, kind of just dab it on. Okay? So there we go. So that's that wash again. So we go back to the gold. So okay. So with the feet, with the boots, all I've done so far is a basic highlight job and a little. All I'm doing here is just finding my right. So for the first boot, okay, there's a good reason why. In the first boot, when this cape goes on and it's glued on, okay, there we go. You ain't seeing that boot. All you're seeing there is like literally that much of the boot there. Okay, this one here you're gonna see. However, when I come to do so this sword here, okay, this sword here that I've got set on a separate thing. Has part of this rock assembly on it as well. And as you can see, where I've done the basing there, I've made sure there's actually a gap for me to put this, glue this on, and then push it together. When that's done, I will then paint the rock. And then what I will do is, depending on how the rock, the hue that I use, so the color. And like how the hue of that rock, whatever, yeah. So basically, then when that's done, I will then either darken or add extra. But the whole model itself, if you look as a whole, bearing in mind that this is going to be a red color, okay, and so on. You have a sword that's going to come down here and be in the way of this foot anyway. You don't need to have much highlight on it. But I may go in there maybe with a little bit more of a shade just in a certain area, but you don't really need it. You just don't really need it. The main focus is going to be the sword here and then this doodah here. One thing I didn't do, one thing I realised I didn't do, is I've neglected this bit here, like a fool. Okay, so I need to just go back over there with some blighted gold, and I could do that. I can do that arm off stream. Sorry. So I'm just gonna take some of that. I'm just gonna go over this again. Okay, to make sure we get into those recesses there, and I'll do this doodah off stream because I can just focus on showing you guys how to do the highlight, the shades and the highlights on the leg there. So as you can see, that purple is in. Okay, so we can see there's nice little purple in that depth. So when we come to highlight now, the gold is going to make the whole thing look really nice. So how are we going to highlight it? Very, very simple. We're going to use two colours to highlight. We're going to add the first colour first. So the colour we're going to add is actually, look at this. This is the thing. Again, look at the colours. This is the same spectrum, but a lighter hue. So it's still a gold that has some green in it. So this is called Old Gold. By the way, I didn't say hello to 1K. Sorry, I was answering your question, but I didn't address you by name. Thanks for stopping, for coming in, 1K. I do appreciate it. It's nice to have you here, man. So all I'm gonna do, because obviously this gold here is kind of dried out a little bit, so I'm just gonna get a good blob of that gold color. And I want a nice transition here. I want a nice transition. So all I'm going to do is in this well here, we're going to add this this is called Old Gold, okay? So this is Vallejo Monocolor Old Gold. Again, a gold with some green in it. Same spectrum. And this is Privateer Press P3 formula blighted gold. So again, two different companies. You can absolutely, you know, it doesn't matter. So let's take this gold, this dark gold here. I'm going to bring it on here, on this top. I'm going to take some of this brighter gold and we're going to add that in and mix. Okay? Maybe a little bit more, just to boost it a little bit. There we go. Okay, now. Just pull it down, twist. Okay? Now we want this is going to be so what we're going to do is going to pull the highlight color. Can you see? I might actually go back in and shade just that lower half of that gold as well with a light purple wash. I can do that after. Again, remember, this process is not set in stone. It's always in flux. Anything you do, you can always go back and change. So what I'm doing here is I'm focusing on the upper edges and the upper, say, that top third of that. And we're going to come down the center as well, just a touch. Okay? Now, with this bit here, we're going to do something a bit straight. We're going to do a bit different, a bit odd. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually do the highlight just on the lower half, okay, or the lower third again. The lower third. I'm going to switch brushes in a second because this brush is a bit too big for our purposes, okay. And I'm going to just come in and just dab in a bit of that colour there. We're going to make sure that we hit this raised section here as well, that colour. Okay, so this is where I'm going to change brushes. I want a bit more control. If you're worried about budgetary stuff as well, we could do that with a model for sure. Maybe we could do that one time, down the road. I mean, I have some plans for the streams coming up at the minute, but 100% we could probably do like I'll we'll pick a random model and we'll just do like a poll for like what should the main colour be, and then go from there. I can probably give like a couple of what I might do is actually give a couple of options to choose from, because that way at least it'll, do you know what I mean? It'll kind of still, I can know that it can make sense. I was considering doing that, you know, broski. Yes, I predominantly use 2 brushes. These aren't expensive ones either. I've got a size 2 and a 0 here. But all you need is something that can hold a lot of paint, base coat, you know, quite quickly with, and then a detail brush here. I also have a size. This is a 3.5 or something like that. A 3. This is a 000 basically. Very, very fine brush. That is one thing you will not get out of me. I will not sell my soul. I was very disappointed there. When do you know a funny story about that, actually? I'll tell you a funny story about that. So at the start of the stream, obviously, I was there at the start. I was modding, obviously for BitDot. I was modding there. And after a while, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling tired because I've been at work during the day. So I'm like, I'm feeling tired, right? So I put BitDot on the. I fire up the PS5. I put BitDot on the old TV there. PS5, some PS5 action, some big screen action, right? And I got him in the background. Well, eventually, of course, boom, Slumberland, yeah, fast asleep. Well, what do I wake up to? I'm like this. I'm like, what? Like dazing. I'm like completely out of it, just waking up. And all I can hear, like is like, ew. And I'm like, what the is going on? What's happening? And then I'm like, I'm fully awake, and he's doing it. He's doing it again. Yeah, but that doesn't count though, because I didn't do it as a bloody dude. I didn't sell my soul. I did not sell my soul there. I didn't do it for bloody for shekels. I didn't do it for shekels. Yeah, but I didn't do it for shekels though, did I? It was part of telling a story. You can't clip that. No. Okay, so I just put. I've added a bit more of. Trying to change subject now. I've added a bit more of the brighter gold now to the mix. Right, I'm just going around the extremities here of that of the gator here. But imagine waking up from a nice little snooze. You know what I mean? Like, it was a nice little snooze. Nice little, like, you know, I've been at work all day, tired. Nice little, like a, you know, nice little snoozy snooze, isn't it? You know, and then I fucking wake up to that. I thought I woke up in bloody what do you call it, Narnia or some crap. Oh, yeah, here we go, yeah. Having it for the boys down. Take him away, boys. Take him away, boy. Take him away. Well, like on South Park. How many evidence back? Okay, so I'm using pure old gold now, by the way. I'll switch to pure old gold, and we're gonna literally hit the edges of the armor now. Hope you can see very. I know it's not very, but I'm gonna hit just the edges of the armor. turn the model upside down. Makes it easier just to get to these bits here. Take them away, boys. For the boys downtown. I was telling a story. That doesn't count. Does not count. BitDot actually negotiated for his meows. I did no negotiating whatsoever. I was telling a story, plain and simple. Any court in the world would figure that. Any jury. I'd go before a jury and be like, Your Honor, I was telling a story. And he'd be like, the court finds you not guilty. And I'd be like, yeah, that's right. Okay, so there we go. So I've also just obviously as a point of I have deliberately made. I wanted this bit of armor, this knee here. I did want it to be slightly more brighter, obviously, than the previous one here. Just because this one's going to be more. This is more exposed. And it will actually catch more light. You'll see here, if I can show you, there's actually a nick, a ding in the armor there that's been sculpted in. So we'll go in there with that purple in a second, and that will really not to the top. So what I'm doing here, what I'll do is I'll make sure the edges you want to make I want them to look sharp, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's still these are still chaos. These are chaos warriors and stuff, so they're still all their stuff. Imagine if you obviously like Lord of the Rings. Think of Uruk-hai, how all their weapons and armor was always sharp. It was designed to maim and kill and hurt and injure or whatever. I imagine even though these are this is obviously like as my what did I call my stream? I called it sort of like Forged in the Fires or something. Chaos Ascendant, and I like armor for the gods or something like that.
Arrest me.
I would still want it to have that dangerous, sharp appearance, So what we're going to do, what I'll do here is I'll add some purple in this ding here, and I might just do a light wash of purple, literally, but a really, really thin down version, just on that lower half there. But what we're actually going to do is I'm going to add some steel to the old gold. I'm going to touch the edges with it, back here. You can see where on the edges I've hit that, the corners and the tips, and down there we're going to with the final highlight. Meanwhile, back at the chainmail, okay. So while we're at it, let's actually add in our steel to this dark gunmetal here. Well, we're gonna basically take the steel. This is Vallejo. Actually, this is air. This is the air color. These metallics are really, really good. Really good metallics. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in that well there. We don't need much. I don't want loads. And we're gonna just add that dark. We're gonna mix the two together, and we're gonna try and make a highlight that is somewhere in between. Again, I do not want this to be overly. Okay, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to take just a piece of kitchen roll, and I'm gonna pull back, okay? And what we made is like this is again, like I said before, this is a cat's tongue brush, okay? Obviously, it's in the shape of a cat's tongue. It has a doodah there. And all we're gonna do, I don't want any of that colour in this. We're gonna go in there a bit more brown, a bit more of a darker brown. And all I'm gonna do is gently, okay? Rest my finger on here. We're gonna pull down, gently, ever so gently, okay? Ever so gently. Well, should I do ASMR like some, what do you call it, kick it in? What I'm looking for here, really, is the middle, okay? Can you see how that looks, how that's really like starts to pop now? And I'm hesitant to even go a step higher, but I will but I'm talking like a fraction lighter, and we're going to just literally touch a few areas just to give it a bit of contrast. And then lower down here, there's some ornamentation. We'll hit that with maybe some bronze, or we'll use some of the similar colors here just to sort of tie that in. But yeah, I don't want this to be like overly like bright. It won't work. But then again, we can tone it down. We will tone it down with some brown, with some washes and stuff like that. We can bring it all back down again. Okay, so let's let that layer just dry for a second there, and we will go back to the armor there. So interesting enough, we're going to be using that same steel color and the old gold. Okay, so this is old gold here. This is steel, the same color that we use for the chainmail. Broski, okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you for being here again. Yeah, it's that time again. It's 9 o'clock. That's why I did start a little bit earlier, so you can have a bit more of a... But yeah, thank you very much, Broski. I do appreciate you being around and being supportive, and yeah, and thanks for telling me that my mic wasn't on again. Next time it'll be perfect. So you get your rest, Broski, and I'll see you in the morning. Anyway, big love, much love. Thank you. Oh, I will, absolutely. Thank you. Yes, with your encouragement, thank you. It's been amazing. And of course, obviously tomorrow, Friday, I'll be looking forward to your stream, Broski. I can't wait to be there and see what misadventures you get up to in the world of old school RuneScape there. Big Bosh. $1K, making the bottom part blend in with the ground color slightly would be interesting to see. Do you mean like when I glue this? This section here, like because this here is obviously a this rock has been molded onto the model. This is actually, I don't know if I have the doodah, but this was actually a model that's for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which I've repurposed for Warhammer the Old World, and these guys, well, they'll just be what do you call it? They'll be just painted as like a sort of simple metallic color, really. They're not gonna be anything because they're not really these are things like little ornamentation, and all I'll do is I'll just paint these in like a dark bronze or something, and then we'll just wash those with like a dark brown, with that whole red that I have, just to give them that kind of basically, yeah. And this ground is going to be this will be like a wasteland tundra type thing with like snowy patches and ice and stuff on it. So because all my I have a Chaos Warrior here that I've already this guy is I did this Zenithal Prime, so he's been primed black, then grey, and then white over the top, just to help with the shades and highlights. He's got an arm missing because again I like to do sub assemblies, so his other arm's already been done. And as you can see here, I've got I've done these. All these have been done. So you've got the ground, some cracked earth there, a little rock. So all this is going to be, all these will be tied in together and all painted the same. The bases will be painted the same. So it's going to be really, really cool. And this is just crackle paint, crackle medium. You just goop it on the base there, and it just separates and cracks over time. It's great. So these will be really really cool. I mean, these guys are going to be a joy to paint. These won't be painted to the same high standard as this, because this is my lord. This is my leader. Green-eyed, big, bad wolf. Good to see you, my friend. You got a lot of patience, Big D, to paint these. But yeah, I did sort of mention, I think, in the previous stream or before. I've always enjoyed doing this. I think this hobby essentially sort of like hits, in the right places for me. It's very methodical, very it's a labor of love. And I definitely enjoy it so much. I could basically spend all day doing these things and not get bored. I just love the it's just a very tactile hobby to have, where you start with you start off with something. Say this is obviously an older example. These are older models, but you'll start off with like a piece of plastic or a piece of metal or a piece of resin or whatever that's bare plastic, and then you glue it onto a base like I've done with this. So this is one of these guys glued onto a base here. These are classic old models, by the way. I talked about these a little bit during the earlier stream. This is going to be a project down the road. These are actually Chaos Warriors. These are these guys, but these were like the very early conception, late 1980s, 1990s guys, and of course these are now the modern 2020s era style Chaos Warriors. So so I love just taking something like this and then turning it eventually into a fully painted model there. Let me just grab a sip of my beverage here, my nice cold beer. Oh, that's good. That hits the spot. So I can't wait. I mean, this is going to be. I did mention at the start of the stream. I don't know if obviously you guys 1K green-eyed big bad wolf. Let me just take a second here, just for a second. So this is obviously part of the Chaos Army project. So the Saturday just gone, there was a pre-sale for the brand new Marauder Warriors and Marauder Horsemen sculpts for Warhammer the Old World, which is obviously the one the game I'm interested in, what I like painting. Oh, I appreciate that, Green Eye Big Bad Wolf. So I'll just show you guys now. So I was able to on Saturday get my pre-order in. So here is, there we go. So this is these are the brand new sculpts. So these are brand new for Warhammer: The Age of Sigmar, and this is the reinforcement Marauders set. 40 Chaos Marauders. So these guys are essentially the like the white. These are like, you know, these are they're called the Marauders. You know, these are the guys that basically do the dirty work, the corrupted men. You know, the evil of men, and yeah, and then these really lovely horse troops here. I was able to get my dude off of them. I'm hoping I've not messed up my my setup here now. No, okay, that's fine. What do you call it? So that's really cool. This is a close-up of what these sculpts look like. These are amazing, absolutely amazing. And so these get released on the. These will arrive at my house on the 6th of December. Now, unfortunately, I won't be here. I'm going to be away with Mr. BitDart. We're going to go to. So I'll go into that in a second. Green-eyed Big Bad Wolf. I will go into that. So this. So I'll be with my brother, Mr. BitDart. We'll be away. We're going to see Papa Big D, and my birthday is on the 7th there, the 7th of December. So I'm going to be spending my my birthday with my dad. I tend to alternate, and it's our chance to go see our dad before Christmas. So I won't be here to take delivery of these, but luckily, you know, I'll be able to when I get home, I will then be able to dig into these guys. So I plan on doing a stream where I'll do a unboxing, and I'm going to do a full tutorial, full lesson, whatever however you want to call it, of taking a box that's like this, a big box of models. So I'll just close this guy off. A big box of troops like this. So we've got 40 guys here, 10 guys on horseback. We will go through. Obviously, I'll do a lot of these off stream. Yeah, this is going to be a really cool project. I think this is going to be very good for the stream, and I'm going to teach you guys. Okay, I'm going to teach you guys. Oh, 1K. Thank you very much for stopping by, dude. You've been absolutely fantastic, and I hope to see you again. Well, I'll see you in BitDotty's stream anyway, I'm sure, and I'll see you again in mine at some point. You take care, my friend. Yeah, so to your question, Green-eyed Big Bad Wolf, do you prefer painting the fighters individually on the horses? I actually like. I think my very nature. I will take these guys off screen now. My very nature, okay. I like to do sub-assemblies, so I will see what the models are like, how they are assembled, and if they're able to be done in a way that I can paint the horse and then paint the rider. I already have because I have the so I have the Cathay, the Grand Army of Cathay battalion set that I'm putting together. I've just got the horsemen now to do, and the artillery crew. But a lot of the artillery itself, a lot of that is all in sub-assemblies. So the rider and the horses are going to be painted separately. But I will go through all of that process in depth in those Marauder videos that I'll be doing, the streams that I'll be doing. So I'm just going to I'm hoping nothing's got misaligned or anything like that during the. I think I might have moved something by mistake, but hopefully we'll see. So let's get back to doing this doodah now. So I'm just going to grab my my fine brush here. So we're going to take the old gold, Okay, so there's old gold here. This is going to be the edge. We're going to do some edge highlighting, guys. Okay, I'm going to take the silver, and we're going to add that silver. This is actually steel. Okay, so it's slightly duller. It's not as bright as a silver paint, but it's bright enough that it'll increase the highlights. But again, I don't want it to be too overpowering. So what we're going to do here is we are going to literally hit the edge highlighting here. We're going to hit the edges, the extremities of the armor. Okay. Make sure to get that tip, that point there, and a bit of water with the paint slightly are there any wolf characters in the world of Warhammer? Yeah, I mean there's some there are, like, you know, wolf models and stuff in the game. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, in Warhammer 40,000, you have space wolves, of course. But in Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer the Old World, yeah, you have models that are represented by wolves. We did use. I mean, they are a what's known as a legacy faction now. But you had what was called vampire counts. They had, you know, werewolves and things in it as well. So that was really cool. But they're basically known in the current game as a legacy faction at the moment, because they are an army. The undead, the what was called vampire counts back in the day, they are an actual army in Warhammer Age of Sigmar now. So they've sort of been seconded for that game now. But we're hoping at some point, hopefully they'll come back to Warhammer the Old World. But there are some really nice models for them, and they do have werewolves and things like that. So here we go. I'm just doing that brighter colour here. I'm going to go down the make sure we go down the centre. Unfortunately, I think this bush of mine might have already given up the ghost. They're not the most expensive bushes in the world, but they do a good job. I do have some expensive Winsor Newton brushes, but I tend to try not to use them too much because they have absolutely traveled in price lately. So getting more of them would be expensive at the moment, just to do that. So I tend to just try and use these slightly cheaper ones. They work really well. You're paying you know, X amount of money for the models and for the paints themselves. So you may as well try and save some money where you can, you know. But obviously, good brushes do make a difference, a big difference. I can see already that I've gone a little bit the edge highlight down the center of the down the center there of the knee pad there has got a bit too broad. I will
what we're gonna do right here is go back, way back into time.
what I'll do is I'll just go back in there and reclaim that with what you call that. I will reclaim that with some of the gold colour, and a wash or two. Yeah, I think this brush has actually given up the ghost there, which is unfortunate. I'll have to switch my brush out. The tunage is it's just a synthwave playlist at the moment. I like this. I like synthwave. I did have. I'm hoping that it shouldn't cause any issues with what do you call it? I'm just going to switch this one. This is a Doodle one, but hopefully it shouldn't cause any issues with copyright or anything like that. Hopefully. Anyway, I'm not making any money off these streams or anything, so it shouldn't be an issue. I understand that if I do what do you call it, I might get hit, but we'll see. Hopefully not. I'll just end up having to find some what do you call it, some license-free stuff or whatever. We'll see. I just like the atmosphere. I just wanted this to be like a really cool, like sort of like I said, that the thing says, you know, like a chill stream, but with some fun as well. Like we have a laugh like earlier. I mean, the majority of the guys that I've had in the stream, obviously, the majority of them are from my brother's old school RuneScape streams, which I greatly appreciate them coming by and stopping by and, you know, coming to watch, you know, me paint and stuff like that. And just listen to me ramble, really. Still finding my feet though, still finding my way. Yeah, yeah, from from the first stream, you mean? The pilot, the scuffed stream, as I called it. Absolutely scuffed to hell. Yeah. But I knew it would happen after a while. But then the same thing, but the thing, I mean, my brother was telling me though, you know, I remember being in my brother's stream, listening to my brother's stream. I was at work. He streamed the first stream he ever did. It was like really early in the morning over here in the UK. I'm not sure where you're from, Bad Wolf. I'm not sure whereabouts you're from, buddy. But what you call that? If you listen to his stream, his first stream, you know, you could tell, you know, and then his second stream, third stream, and then eventually, you know, over time. So you can't even see what I'm painting, can you? It's just to be ramble on. I'm just doing the edge here of the gator with this color. Yeah, over time. Listen to him now, like you wouldn't have thought it was the same guy who, you know, who streamed all those last year or whatever it was. He really started streaming, you know. Maybe yeah, but it's just crazy, and I think it'll come with time. He told me it'll come with time. That's what he told me. Confidence comes with time. It's just I don't know. It's just getting over that fear. Like, do people even want to do people even want to hear me talk? Do I have anything that's worth worth saying, or you know? But I see I can't say I've ever actually done that. I can't say I've ever actually done that, to be fair. Obviously, you know, everyone's had a night out or whatever, and you get caught short and you go behind the wall or whatever, or down an alley for you know. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you mean now. Yeah, but that's bloody, what do you call it though, isn't it? That's a bloody weird thing, that just, yeah. I tend not to if I can help it, like... End of the day, you gotta go, That's it. Everyone's gotta go, you know. It's interesting though to see the that sort of the the unspoken social etiquette of that whole thing, you know. Some people don't care. Like, some people don't literally care. Okay, so now we're almost ready to switch. Not in the forest. No, I know what you meant. I know you didn't like mean that she like trousers down, middle of the bloody road or whatever, middle of the street. But still, though, they're saying that. There's some people don't care, do they? Where's the? I think it's like blighted gold. Just gonna reclaiming some of that darker gold color there. I did go a little bit. Let's just what do you call that? There we go. That's better. Much better. Let's just bring in some of that. That's looking much better now. Okay, so all we're going to do now is I'm going to put in the final highlight, which is basically just pure steel, and we're going to just literally touch, like literally like pinpoints. So the very, very top, here. Just put it down a little bit, tiny little bit. Put it down a little bit. This corner here, the edge, this edge here, just there, just there. Same here, this corner here, just the edge, ever so gently. Maybe a little bit here. Okay, turn it upside down, and we're going to just touch. Can you see? We're going to touch again. You've got the central line here. Just touch that a little bit there, and then either side a little bit. Just very, 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 very gently. Very gently. Okay? Very, very gently. Just going to tap it. Boom. Like that. And then we'll just do the same thing. And then even though it's underneath, it just helps to accentuate the armor there. I didn't really... I need to just pop this out a little bit. I'm just touching the. Ah, there we go. That's better. So these little extremities here. You are coming across more thorough and talking more detail, and I'm more concise. It's all good. Good things coming to time. Yeah. I don't know shit about Warhammer, but I really appreciate that. I mean, it's not very often that you get someone sort of like who would click on a stream, you know, like this, and not really sort of. But I like the fact that you was curious enough to you know, have a gander. So all I'm doing is trying to the ornamentation here, the extremities of this gold armor. I've forgotten to over the time that I've been painting this, I've forgotten to actually like hit it with I might have to go back in and reclaim. Some of the dark area. the what do you call it, these little rivets. Just touch them with that light colour there, that metallic, that bright, that steel. A little bit of a whoopsie there. Go with that darker gold colour. Okay, just back in there again. That's better. So that's there's this bit here. I'll watch everything before you sign off. Yeah. Yeah, of course. I can give you a little twirl now. I don't know if it's figured in very well. Okay. The focus is I've got it figured, but I'll just give you a quick. Obviously, that's the speed base coat. There's no, and then all this is just solid black. I haven't got around to painting any of that stuff yet. So we're getting there. We're getting there. But again, remember. So here's the cloak, the bit that glues on. I just quickly just threw on some base coats here. I did just do a base coat and highlight and on the gold on there and on here. It's a bit messy, but the main main point of this is the hand here holding the handle and the pommel of the sword there. That's just a base metallic color there, and then just the blue, making sure that was because again, like I said, to show you quickly again, once this is glued on, when it glues, I'm going to like make sure the gaps filled in, and make it seamless, which I'll do using super glue. Okay, and then and I can just smooth it out afterwards, and then go over it with a brush on black primer, right? But that's essentially what we're looking at now, guys. So can you see why? Can you see why I've done this the way I have? So obviously all this here that I painted, you ain't gonna see it. But this was a good way. One, I like to paint stuff anyway, even if I can't see it. But it was a good way to test my recipe for the gold that I had in my head. You know, I grabbed a couple of, you know, different golds and different things, and I just wanted to test them out to see if it worked. So I was able to paint this before I painted this one. So at the minute, when you see this now, okay, you've got two bright coloured gators, is what they're called. I learned that the other day. Yeah, on but this one here is slightly darker, duller, but that won't matter, you know. And in the end, all that is going to be covered up anyway. I kind of am. It's very hard for me to walk away from a model, but you need to learn how to, and that's the thing. It's getting over that that mentality, that mentality, that process. I've just learned, that's it now. It's done. You know, you'll never. So like I say, at the minute, that's looking really, really nice, really sharp. Okay, and when this is going to be painted red, this little hand here, you can't see it very well. It's just, you can still see it's there, but that will stand out a bit more. And then this belt's going to be a very dark brown leather color, so that will sort of stand out against the brown as well. Sorry, the blue. But this is going to get a wash, a glaze anyway, just to bring it down a bit, just to tone it down, and then that will help it out quite a bit. But again, this is a Chaos Lord, you know, so he needs to look kind of cool. And in reality, because it's just because the light's bouncing off it and reflecting off it. It's actually a bit darker in person. The base. So what what I've glued? Oh yeah, this is absolutely going to get. So this is obviously just on a. I'm using a spray can cap just to help to hold the model so I don't. But eventually, all the base is going to be done, painted, because it needs to. I have like a whole bunch of these guys. These are the regular Chaos Warriors that I've prepped, based, and I've Zenithal primed these guys because I want to be able to paint these guys pretty fast. Okay, these are going to be like above tabletop stuff. This is why I'm sort of painting this to a sort of like higher tabletop standard, maybe a higher. It's not display quality by any means, but it's that borderline. It's that it's that halfway point between display and of course just like so it's a high level tabletop that would be. So all these bases for all these guys are going to be painted the same because it's going to tell a story. This is going to be an army, so it's going to tell a story, and I'm going for basically dry earth kind of color with snow and ice and little tufts of like dead grass, basically. Something that'll look really, really cool. So this rock here will need to be painted first, and I'm going to blend in a bit more because once, I think I might have mentioned this before, this sword here obviously has a section of the scenic rock attached to it. Okay, so once this guy's painted up, I'll just take my knife, okay, my hobby knife, and I'll just extend it and make sure, and then I'll just pull it down and just, it's only held on with the tiniest, like a pinhead of super glue, just literally like, and then held in place, and that's just enough to hold it there, and then I can literally just put my knife under and scrape it off, and then I'll be able to glue it. Once it's fully painted, I'll put a dab of glue on there, like a tiniest spot of glue on there, a tiny spot of glue on here, and then push the components together, and then I'll paint the rock all together at the same time to make sure it's blended in. So I may need to use like a little bit of it comes in a drop of, it comes in a thing like this. It's called plastic putty, and you just squeeze a little bit out. It's acrylic based. You squeeze a little bit out on your palette or whatever. You add a tiny little bit of water to it, and then you just basically brush it over the gaps, and it'll blend it together. And then I can I'll just re-prime it in black, and then paint the rock in a kind of a grey or like a dark grey kind of colour, and then I can do the rest of the base then. So yeah, so this will be, the base is going to be the last thing that I'll paint on the model there. So that's going to be really, really cool, really, really nice. And all these guys will be, I think they'll all match and blend in together, which will be really, really nice. It should look. I mean, these guys, I can't wait to sort of. Again, I'll do it with those new Marauders as well. I'll show you about Zenithal priming. This is basically this has been primed black like I do here, but then it's been primed so black. So it's all over black, and then from a angle like this, a 45-degree angle or whatever, I've then just gone around it with, I sprayed it with grey. So you still have that. So you still have black underneath. Then you have grey over the top, and then you have the model, flat down. Your spray can directly above, and you go, just spray it, and the primer just falls over the top, and that creates your lightest areas. And then with this, you can then go over it with thin paints and start creating your bases and your layers and stuff like that. The reason why I didn't want to do it with this model is I wanted to show how you can still achieve and how you can. I mean, a lot of professional painters will always start from a black prime model and then build the layers up, build your colors up that way. Okay, so you'll put a base coat down, then you're going with your shades and you're blending in your shades, and then you go with your highlights and blend in your highlights, and that way you get really smooth transitions. And this looks quite, you know, smoothly done. But I mean, if you put it under a microscope or whatever, you're going to see it's all optical. You know, it's optical blending really. I haven't done anywhere near the amount of layers that I probably would do for, say, like competition level or whatever. And it's very, I mean, I've used a few shortcuts here and there, but I wanted the blue armor to be quite dark anyway. So I didn't want to go, you know, I didn't want the transitions to be too many, because I want to retain that dark look of the blue armor with just the edges accentuated with you know, light bits of light blue here and there. Let's go back to the chainmail quickly. So I mentioned, obviously, I was hesitant about doing another highlight, but we can do that. So again, I'm just going to take oh, Stefu, mate, thank you very much, but I do appreciate that. I'm going to be signing off maybe about 10 o'clock anyway, so I've got work tomorrow myself. But I do appreciate you stopping by, my friend. I do know that you have IRL stuff, so thank you very much, buddy, and I'll catch you more than likely in BitDot's stream tomorrow, and if not, I'll catch you on Discord, pal. All right, you take care, my friend. Yeah, much love to you as well, buddy. So there's the dark gunmetal color. Here's that light color. Let's just put a little bit of this dark gunmetal into this. Okay. Now remember what I did before? Let's do that again. Take your kitchen roll, okay? And we're going to drag the brush down, down, down. I'm going to remove a lot more as well. So there's still pigment on there. There's no moisture. There's pigment on there still, okay? And we're going to literally just... Oh, we're just going to... was it Bob Ross used to say, like a whisper, you know, like a whisper just over the mountains, whatever it was, a whisper over the hills, or whatever he used to say. And I'm gonna just maybe just tap a little bit here just to. Yeah, that's it. Whisper in the wind or something like that. Yeah, it was like a really used to those. Whenever he was doing like he'd always use his brush to. When he was like doing clouds and stuff, he would use a clean dry brush, and he would just like barely touch the paint there just to make the clouds like fluff up and stuff, blend them in. Whisper in your gut. Oh dear. But yeah, Bob Ross. I used to. It was so, because I used to watch that guy all the time on Discovery. You know, it was on Discovery Channel, Discovery Network, whatever it was called. Because it was Bob Ross. I used to watch it all the time with my mum when I was younger. You had Bob Ross, and then also there was a show called New Yankee Workshop. And that was where a guy called Norm, he basically made, handmade stuff, from wood. Like, it was just amazing. He would do like replicas of pieces of furniture and stuff that he would go to museums and stuff to see, and he would show you how to. It was amazing. He was really cool. So those two shows were great to watch on Discovery Network, Discovery Channel. But yeah, Bob Ross, 100%. He was like the what do you call it? He was the king of ASMR before ASMR was even became a thing. But now, of course, ASMR, you just got fucking weirdos fucking putting their bloody bum to the fucking microphone or whatever, like weird shit like that. It's just fucking weird. Oh yeah. Bob Ross, he rocks. He absolutely rocked. He was probably the only, dude to like get away with having an afro like that, Especially with all those fucking weirdos now out there that got to talk about bloody what do you call it, like cultural appropriation and fucking crap like that. The bloody fucking does me head in. Oh, I didn't have this guy on the fucking stand. Let's get back on the stand there. There we go, that's better. So that is basically as much as I'm going to do. But as you can see, even with the really light highlight there, the light dry brushing, you'll see that some of the paint has still gone into those into the recesses there. So I just need to what do you call it? And also I've just noticed there's a little bit I didn't quite get with my brush earlier. So let's just use some that darker chainmail. You see, like here, there's a little bit of thickness. A little bit of that's much better now. Just a little bit of doodah there to the sculpt, to the chainmail. I just didn't see originally. Okay, there we go. Yeah, clap. But again, we're going to go in with some darker washes, yeah? We're going to go with some browns and stuff and just rust up certain areas. So we'll leave that the middle portion there as bright as that, and then at the top and at the bottom we'll do some rust colours. What I might actually do is just kind of give, because these are like sort of weird little pennants and symbols type things. I'll probably just go in with some of that. What I might do is go in with like a maybe like a sort of this kind of colour. Let's give it a quick shake. In fact, I might give it. Let's use some Deathless Metal. This is a really cool metallic colour. It's very dark. It's very. I've just put this into shot. This is here. This is called Deathless Metal. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to thin this out. We might more or less turn it into a wash, into a glaze. Okay. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to just go in here, very, very top, pull it down. What that will do is that will just give a nice, shade color, but still have it be metallic. And then I'm going to so I'm using I'm using a really dark metallic color, just so I retain I'm actually going to go into the shadows with it. It's just to retain some of that darkness. I will go in the recesses though with a non-metallic paint, which will then help to it helps redefine the the metallic. If you have like metallic over metallic over metallic, you don't really get a strong punch of color of the metallic. You really, this is why, for instance, here in the recesses on the gold, for instance, I was using acrylic purple and the washes. That's why you kind of use washes, because in the recesses, in the shadows, you don't just use a dark metallic color in the shadows. You need actual non-metallic paints in the shadows, because then that makes the actual metallic colors more brighter. I'm just going over this. The reason I'm using this deathless metal over these little areas is just because I want to go over these. I want to highlight these with like a bronze or a brass or something like that. I want them to be slightly different. I don't want them to be the same gold color as the armor, the gaiters, because I want these to be, you know, a different, just different metal. You know, these aren't armor. These are like trinkets or whatever. You know, they're like little trinkets, little medallions, or little you know, little things like that. They could be you know, spoils of war type thing. You know, so maybe there could be some that this guy is you know, when he's killed a foe, killed an enemy, he might take like a badge or take something that belongs to them, a little trinket, and then he's had his you know, his evil dark armorer, his blacksmith, you know, forge him like this chain mail what do you call it, and then like a chainmail loincloth, I suppose, and you know, have them attached to the bottoms of his of the armor there, just as a kind of like reminder to his foes that he's not to be trifled with, you know. So I've got, this is a very bright color. This is brass by Vallejo model color. And I am going to add that to the deathless metal, and that's going to give us our highlight color. So there's the dark color there. Take a little bit, add it in, a little bit, add it in. There we go. So there isn't much. Just going to like touch the top, touch the bottom. Touch the top, touch the bottom. All it does is just gives a little bit of visual interest. Just separates it from the metal, from the metallic. Make sure we touch the edges, sides, just to define that colour. And then we'll just quickly grab pure brass. Just you know, this is very quick. This is not something I want to spend you know, all day on. These little bits at the bottom here. I want these just to be nice and quick, nice and simple. And all we'll do anyway is maybe just give these a little touch with that hull red that I mentioned earlier. Maybe have them slightly covered in, you know, old blood, old dried blood. So these are just going to be like nice little simple, little metallic ornaments. And then we'll just take that brass, and then just to make that, just to highlight that, we'll take the light silver, just add that in there. And that way we're tying in. Boom, boom, boom. Nice and simple, nice and quick. And then we're tying in the metallic elements of the you know, we're using that same highlight color throughout. The base colors are different, but the highlight colors is the same. So it gives the model harmony. in regards to the metallics all being highlighted with the same stuff. However, I've noticed I made a little boo-boo just here. I went a bit too... I went in there with reckless abandon, and I ended up just putting a little bit of that brass colour there where I didn't want it. But again, we're going to go over that with... So I've just got in there with a little bit of the dark gunmetal, just dabbed over it, so it's got rid of that, and then we'll go over it with a wash anyway, and that will help sort of like tile that back in again. So while we're at it, because there isn't much left to do on this knee pad, to be fair, maybe a little bit of shading here and there, and also, oh yeah, let's do that little bit of doodah there. So we've got a little bit of that wash left. Okay, there we go. We've got a little bit of that purple wash. Now here, there was like a ding in the armor, a little nick, a little ding. So I'm going to pull in some of that wash. It's very, 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 very weak. So I might need to just grab some of that royal purple again. Because you really want this to stand out against the... I'm using the wash to just to thin it out slightly. And again, make it so it's got that... has that flow aid, that flow improver already in the wash. So it'll help the paint to go into the nook and crannies. Just gonna get my brush in a, because the damage is going from left to right, from bottom to the top. It's like going that way. Okay, so it's easier for me to get my brush and just follow that natural line of it. So there we go. And then while it's still wet, take the brush and just blend that purple into the gold ever so slightly. So there we go, it's in that little wound there, a little gash in the armour. Take the wash again now and just put that. Now we've got that heavy pigmentation of that purple in there already. We can just accentuate it with the violet wash. And then when that's dry, what we have to do to accentuate that even further is, can you see the damage, the little nicks, the little cheek, the little, like, you know, in the armor already? So what I've done is obviously gone in there with a darker color, and then on the underside you add in, you do a slight highlight color slightly above it, and then you do an even lighter one underneath it. And what that gives and what that shows is the depth, because obviously that damage that say that's been, you know, it's been hit with a sword, has taken obviously a wedge, a chunk in the armor. Well, that's going to leave basically a recess, and there's going to be a slight lip, and that's basically that light there, that little highlight represents that lip of armor that just sticks out, protrudes out, and the sunlight catches it. And what that will do is just give it depth. So we're going to do the same thing with that damage there, okay? So what I will do is I will grab some of the gold there, just add in a little bit of that nice bright gold. And then we're going to highlight that with some of that silver. But some of that silver is still there. Nice. And this is very quick because all we're doing is just basically we're just trying to add in a tiny little highlight here. I'm just mixing up a simple little highlight color there, taking a bit of the gold, a bit of the silver, okay, just mixing them together to have like a brighter color than what what I'm after. Okay, and we're just going to literally run that color I need to grab my finer brush, grab that silver colour, just like that. Now that's basically, I can then go back in and reclaim there, perfect. So that hint of silver there, that little hint of just to show that little, and then we need a little bit just above as well. But you do not want this to be as bright as the underside, because this is essentially, again, like, it's hard to if I can just explain it with a simple quick drawing. How about that? That'd be easier, won't it? Got a pen, so that's how I explain. So let's say, so this is the gash in the armor, say. Okay. Oh, can't we see? So that's the gash in the armor. That's that purple bit there. Okay. So this, if I was to like do this as a head-on type thing, if I could just doesn't show up very well, was it? Okay. Doesn't matter. I'll show you. I'll do a close-up. I'll just do a close-up. It's pencil, so if I don't show very well, it's on white paper. But essentially, what you would have is something like this. Okay. So you imagine that this is the bottom half. And this is the top half, so this is this, but kind of like side on. So the sunlight comes down here, yeah? Or, well, so you'll have, the light will catch this ridge here. So all this is your shade color. This is that purple I used there, and then this is that lip, and this is the lip above it, side on. So this bit will have some light, but not as much, and this will get a fair bit of light because that's where the light is hitting the most. It's like the like I said, the recess. This gash is a recess here. This bit here of the lip actually protrudes. This all sinks in, and this protrudes. So all this sort of bit here, this section here, is actually highlighted, and then you just go down. You just go down the model normally. So that bit there, and then there. So that's basically the simplistic. That's the simplest explanation. Is like that bit there. The reason why we give a light highlight underneath is because that underneath is that bit there that sticks out. That's the easiest way to kind of like visualize, to explain it in a visual sense. That looks pretty cool. That looks pretty good. I probably might sort of neaten up a little bit. Let's just focus on the chainmail for now. You can see that I might have just caught that little inside there of the that blue there. That's fine. I'll go over there with a dark blue again and just cover that over. So the actual the recess is in between the chainmail. So we need to go in there with a colour. So we've got this wash here, this ink. So we may as well use that. But now we're not doing it all over. We're not doing an all over wash. We're doing a very controlled. This is what's called a recess. Okay, this is also what people who do model tanks and things like that, they call it pin lining. Okay, so forgive me if I might have to. But you're finding in the recess there. Can you see the recess? And I'm just pulling that shade color down, but only the recess. Only the recess, not the. Not over everything, just the recess. It's easy to turn if you turn it as well. Just pull it down. Controlled. Get enough on your brush. Very fine brush as well, okay? Just get enough on your brush that when you pull the colour down, it just it'll flow into the recess that you're trying to shade and define. It'll flow into there, but won't flood it. You don't want to flood it. One thing we could also do as well to deepen that is add in a bit more. Add in a brown acrylic paint. I did see your message there, Big Bad Wolf. I'd appreciate you saying that, but I was obviously a bit too. Obviously, I was just making a doodle of that explanation there earlier. With just, I thought just a random. 2D explanations are sometimes really useful to explain why, because it's when you see stuff in a 2D and a 3D perspective, and also the 2D perspective, it kind of just helps a little bit. Okay, so now you've got a more defined, more defined recesses in the chainmail there, in the links between each row of chainmail there. I'm just gonna add in. I will do what I said about. I'll add in some brown. So you'll find like a dark brown. Okay, this will do. This will do. Yeah, this will do. This is a dark brown. This is called charred brown. Okay, but it doesn't matter. It's just a dark brown. You want a dark brown. I do have a colour. Actually, no. Let's use Umbral Umber. I like Umbral Umber better. The reason I'm going to use this for is this is a really good colour to add to blues, to shade blues and stuff, like desaturated blues. So I'll pull this down. Sorry. So there's the Umbral Umber there. Grab some of this wash. Pull that in. Remember the composition of the washes that they used as well. So you have the armor wash, which has black and blue, and then I used a bit of brown wash, just to add that kind of like that sort of, again, add it to the blue, helps desaturate it slightly, because the metallics obviously are quite vibrant and bright, so you need something darker to accentuate that. Okay. See, there's a little bit of brown on that, but yeah, that's fine. Let's just pull that down. So all this brown is doing. Don't be afraid to like turn the model on its side and stuff as well. You have full control. Obviously, I'm trying to make sure that the model is in shot for the demonstration, but if you're painting at home and you can't get to a section of the model with it in normal, you know, the normal angle, just turn it, turn it around. Make the model do the hard work for you, not the other way around. Okay. So that's that. So, you know, you can do anything. You can and that's why I like holding on the cap there. You can buy this is a handle. This is a Citadel. This actually has a bit that I removed that you stick on, and it has a bolt. Like a doodah here. Okay, there you go. It's there. So this has a piece that you screw on, and it has springs, and it'll clip the model on for you. I just prefer to just stick some blue tack on, and then I've got I can. And these are like designed to be obviously like what's it called? Ergonomically, like for your hand or whatever. But I quite like having that, you know. And these are good because these are kind of like a multi-purpose thing for me, because you can so you can stick your oh no, I've already got one on the other cap, this guy here. Okay, so this guy here, this is a base. This is a random base that's just stuck onto the cap, and then I just blue tack the model onto the base. But what I can do, so if it's a model that looks, so it's a plain an unprimed model, so I would glue this guy onto his base. I could then stick him on here once the glue is dried. He's solid, he's not going anywhere. Stick him on here with some blue tack. Just some blue tack, that's all it is. Okay? And then I can shake my spray can. Make sure that, you got to make sure you hear the rattle. When you do spray paint, you make sure you shake it enough till the ball inside is rattling, okay? And then I can take this outside. I can literally have my fingers inside that, okay? And I can just have my arm, the arm that I'm going to spray with, 6 inches or so away from the model, and I can hold that there, and I can go spray, turn it round, spray, okay? And then I can do this. I can then turn it upside down, okay? and I can go spray. You can see there's still some green showing through. It doesn't matter too much. Spray, and then turn it back up again, let it dry, then you do it again, but from a different angle. We can get every angle, because I like to make sure that I spray the models straight on, obviously from the side, from the back, side again, top on down, and then upside down, and then the same, like side, back thing. And what it does, it allows it to get all the, obviously I didn't do it very well with that one there, but you get the, I mean, it was too cold anyway, so I had to like, but you get the idea. And then that's it. And then when that's dry, you can then use the same cap as your painting handle, to then paint your model on, which is basically what I did with this one. I stuck him on here, I sprayed it black, had all the other pieces glued onto random little bits of these are called flying stands. Okay, you get these spare with some models. You have loads of these spare, but you can buy bits of plastic dowel or plastic rod or whatever. Just glue them onto something, and then any models that you need to have when you go to paint them. See, this model here is glued on to this nub here. Okay, well, this nub isn't important, doesn't need to be painted, because all that nub does is it's a location lug for these holes here. It just makes sure that the shield is lined up properly. Okay, so I just stick them on, the head's on a bit of flying stand, the shield is, the sword is on another base. Okay, I just glued it on using the rock, and the cape was just on this paint handle. So like that. So all I did was have it on the paint handle. When it was primed, turned it over, primed it, sprayed it again, wait for that to dry, and then I can just go in, paint these little details as much as I need to, because they're not going to be seen. And I can just, once it's dry, turn it over, paint the hand there, paint the bit there, paint the bit there, and then that is now ready. I can leave that alone now, and then when I'm finally ready to glue this on to here and here, I can then do that, blend it all in with some super glue or some plastic putty, whatever, paint it all the same base color, the same black again, black primer, and then I can make sure it all is seamless as a whole, as a model as a whole. Okay, so now you can see that final application of just adding that darker brown to the wash that I was using before has now made all the difference. Okay, and that is genuinely as much as you need to do. And now what we can do, okay, is we can do some very fine highlighting. I'm going to take a bit of that black, that chainmail, bulk gunmetal, whatever it's called, dark gunmetal. I'm going to mix in a bit of that light. I'm using here my size 0. Okay, this is the size 0. I'm going to do the same thing. There's no water on this brush. Yes, I did, because this is going to be, you're going to need to be absolutely careful. You can see there's the tiniest amount of paint. There is no water on this brush. Okay, no water. Okay, now we're going to do this. So where we've done the recesses, we are now going to just accentuate the raised areas again. Okay, do not touch the recesses. Use your tip. I'm gonna there we go. That's been out. It was just the dude, the player, asking me if I was still watching YouTube, and I'm like, yes, I am. You don't want to undo. You don't want to undo all your hard work that you just done with that with the shading. Okay. You don't want to undo that. That just doesn't serve any purpose. So you still want, but you do want to give that. I need to be careful there because this fucking. I think I'll need to get a new brush. Careful, careful, careful. Well now, yeah, I started at 7, and it's now just come past 10 o'clock. Nearly 20 past 10. So I think what we'll do is we'll go till I've got work in the morning, so we'll go till past. Okay, we'll go till past. So there we go. Let's just try. Just a little highlight there, in the middle, highlight in the middle, remember? Highlight in the middle, highlight in the middle. Don't go crazy, don't go crazy. Just want a little pop, just a little oof, oof, oof. But then we'll dial it back in the shaded areas, the recess areas. We're going to put a little wash here, a little wash there. In fact, let's do a little bit of Hull Red now, and I'll show you the effect that it has. We'll use some Hull Red. Why not? We'll do it now, and then I'm going to do. So it's nearly 20 past. This will take less than a minute, just to do a little wash with this, and then we'll do the black lining. We'll reclaim over the areas that we've maybe gone over, okay? And then we'll do a last spin for the model with the areas reclaimed. Okay, so there's our Hull Red, okay? So the composition of Hull Red, it's got blue. It has a blue composition to it. Composition. So I'm going to pull. This is a very good color, very good for weapons and rust and stuff like that. Bit more whiter than that. There we go. Okay. And we're going to just touch. This is a nice tune. I like this tune. I listen to a lot of this stuff at work, synthwave and that. I think the other people at work think I'm fucking. But then and again, sometimes like a really nice track like this comes on, and someone will go, "That sounds actually, that sounds really nice." I go, "Yeah." Okay, can you see the Hull Red there, just on the very bottom of the links there? Hey, Solo! How's it going, buddy? Yeah, bless you guys, in the States there. Happy Thanksgiving, fella. I hope you're having a good one there, bud. I hope you're having your turkey and all that stuff. See, over here in the UK, like, turkey's more a Christmas thing. But I know for you guys in the States, it's a Thanksgiving thing. Strange how So there we go, there's that whole red look, see? So I'm using the whole red. Oh, well, you make it $32.50 an hour, bud. You can't, what do you call it? Well, I'm sure you can, what do you call it, have like a belated Thanksgiving, eh? Like a belated one, like sort of. But do you guys see that that whole red? How I've just really nice, just thinned it down, just ever so slightly, and just got into those little the recessed areas there, yeah? That just works really well. It's a beautiful colour. Beautiful colour. You take care, buddy. If you be careful. You be good on the old patrol there, bud. So what time are we now? Oh, it's 22 minutes past. So shall we? I nearly said, shall we? Well, I won't say what I was going to say just in case. But let's get the black out and let's reclaim the areas that we've got over, yeah. Oh, it looks absolutely lovely. Okay, let's get the black out. This is the old. Doesn't matter what black you use. You can use Vallejo model color, Games Workshop black. I'm using the Privateer Press one because that's what I've got out. Get plenty on the old palette there. Add a little touch of water. Just a little touch. We're going to reclaim. So what do you mean by reclaim, BigDsBrush? I'll show you what I mean by reclaim. So a lot of these areas that I've gone over were originally black for obviously for the as the black primer for the base coat there. So what I'm doing now is I am repainting the stuff that should still be black basically. Need to be really careful here. My fucking eyes are. I'm out of shot, I know, but I just want to make sure that I don't go over. Go over anything I'm not supposed to. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. I can get myself back in the camera there. There was like a really particularly dodgy bit there that was like really close to a detail piece that I'd already painted, and won't be tired if I had to redo that again because of my clumsiness. But even though I didn't necessarily paint or highlight any of this gold on the arm here, tomorrow when I finish work I'll just get myself settled down and I'll just repeat the process for the that gold piece of armor there on the arm there. I might have to, what do you call it as well, tomorrow I might have to pop into town and go to the local art shop, which is where I got these bushes from, and just grab a couple of more brushes. They're not terribly expensive, like I said before, so they're good investment. I mean, they'll last a couple of sessions, but I mean, I use these brushes for a while now. I didn't buy these especially for the stream or anything. I've been using them to do a few models here and there, a few base, you know. If you do a lot of base coating, you know, using your size 2 or whatever to base coat a lot of models, you're gonna eventually wear through them. This is a good track. I like this song. Ooh. I think that will do. There's nothing else to reclaim really, because anything else is just what you call it. Yeah, so there we go. We'll move the palette out of the way. I will give you a spin without the cape on, and I'll give you a spin with the cape on. And that will, and then we'll sign off. So there we go. So there's that chainmail that we did. Okay. Look how nice and easy that was, nice and simple. Just a few colours and a little colour placement, recessed shading, and using that, sorry, that whole red just absolutely transforms. We've got the gold gator there. I do think, see that little damage there and there now that pops out. When you do this, you get a lovely little colour shift of purple into the yellows, which is quite nice. You know, it's not perfect. I might have to go back in there off stream again. Maybe tomorrow I might sort of just touch a few little areas here, just rectify a little bit. I've got a little bit of paint. You can sort of see it reflecting a little bit on that leg there, but that's not an issue. I'm just going to go in there with the dark Prussian blue, and then just give that a little, and then just do a little mix of black and dark Prussian blue, and just give that a little touch, and that'll be fine. That'll soon what you call it, blend back in, disappear. Okay. And then obviously that bit of arm that we didn't, you know, that didn't be. I'll just go in there anyway. I need to go in there with a bit of blue first anyway, just to make sure I touch get that little bit of elbow armor there. Right, let's just stick the cape on, and then you'll see the what you call it. We put the cape on, then the cloak or whatever. You'll see how the whole composition will look. Okay, so now can you see why I didn't over highlight the chainmail? Because it's in shadow, see? So that gives it now like a really nice deep shadow looking armor, and then because that knee of course is out in the daylight, it's getting this leg here, this section, this leg here, this knee, this foot, they're getting the majority of the light there, you see. So this whole side here will look really nice. Plus the inside of here is going to be a very dark grey, green grey, black. So black with a little bit of green grey into it, like really dark green grey, and then a little bit of light green grey just on the edges, on the highlights there, but a very dark inside. So then that will contrast with the bright thingy there. But then, of course, when we go around the rest of the model, okay, remember, we're going to go with like a red cape, but we'll go on the darker side of red. We're not going to go on the bright side, we'll go on the darker side. So we won't be going into anything like any kind of oranges or anything like that. Literally a bright red will be the highest highlight on that, okay? And then this is going to be, this will be next, well not next, but once we got this glued on, I'll be doing this first, the fur, and then we'll be doing the lower half of the cape, okay? Because again, I'm going to be dry brushing this to get that fur texture. We'll do a few washes, dry brush, a few washes, okay? And then any overspill, I can go back in with the black, reclaim it, and then we'll go over with the dark red and that kind of stuff. So that'd be quite nice. And then once that's all done, then we can just basically start doing the accessories for the guy. Obviously here I've got to make sure this is dark metal. This is dark metal, that's dark metal. I've got to do a few little highlights there. And I'll make that little insignia, I'll make that the same gold colour as that knee there or something like that. Thanks to Green-Eyed Big Bad Wolf. In fact, that's probably a good point just to sign off anyway. It's gone past the bottom of the hour. It's 10:30. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's popped in today and supported the stream. I really do appreciate it. Watching me blabble on and all that kind of stuff. So let's just switch to the standby screen, and you should still be able to hear me. We will we'll say goodbye to the music. There we go, and I'll just do a final sign off. Thank you ever so much again. Thank you to everyone who's popped in, said hello, and just supported the stream in general. And I should be back, well, I will be back next week, more than possibly with a nighttime stream on Tuesday night, and then a daytime stream probably Wednesday and Thursday. So that is the possibility going forward. I hope to see you all there. Everyone, take care. Green-Eyed Big Bad Wolf, thank you for sticking through to the very end. And I will see you guys next time.